Are we recording?
You are recording?
Yeah,
You are-
recording, okay,
you are
well,
ready to go.
it is 6:01 and I'm gonna call the meeting of the Greenfield Public Safety Commission to order at 6:01.
There's a red dot there, somebody's waiting to come in. Just.
Chairperson's statement,
Bring that on. But there's pause.
yeah, well, I'm just waiting for the, sorry, to get instructions. This meeting is being recorded by the Public Safety Commission. If any other person is present who are recording this or online, please notify the chairperson at this time. Anybody in the audience recording? Anybody in Zoom land recording? I don't see any, so that's none. Okay, so we're gonna do roll call. Commissioner Lanoy? Here. Commissioner Mazzatello?
Here.
Commissioner Burge?
Here.
Commissioner Dixon?
Here.
Commissioner Bratt? Here. Commissioner Barger? Here. Commissioner Jarvis here. We have a forum, everybody's here. So we're gonna go to public comment. Public comment is people of the public can speak up to 3 minutes after they're recognized by the chair. We will just start in the room here and then we'll move on to Zoom if anybody in Zoom has public comment. So is there anybody in the room that's here for public comment?
Okay, so that would be me. Is about give me a refresher about the public comment about certain cases or certain situations or.
Are you here for the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
So those-
that's separate. That's
That's
separate.
separate, yeah.
This is public comment. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, anybody in Zoom land, public comment, raise your hand or just speak up. Okay, well, we'll close public comment.
Visitor at the front door.
Yeah, the front door, okay, yeah, thanks, Mayor. This isn't why you came down. Triple duty.
She's out of here.
Okay, so at this time, I would entertain a motion to go to to skip what we have next on our agenda to open up the dog hearing.
I'll move. I'll second.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to
Vote.
we need a vote. All in favor?
Favor.
All those opposed? Abstentions? None. Okay, very good. So we're gonna start the dog hearing at 6:04.
Right, the clerk?
And the clerk up to,
So,
We gotta swear. do
unlike
swear.
last time, it should be less complicated. Most of the conversations are gonna be by the owner of the dog and the neighbors, I'm guessing. We don't have a lot of information on this dog other than the original report, which I'll read. You have it? I made copies of everything. Have everything?
I have a copy here.
I don't have a copy of the original report, so that would be great. I do on my computer.
Take a
but,
look at this. See if you have that stuff. That should include,
I do have that. I do have this. Which is,
there was an original complaint.
yeah.
It said it was filed April 21st of 26.
Hold on a second, wait.
I should
Yeah.
probably administer.
Well,
the-
I'm giving you a heads up and then we'll do the oath for anybody who's
Okay,
gonna
that's fine.
participate. I just wanna make sure you have the right material so that we can follow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not
Okay.
doing anything under oath.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I just wanna make sure you have the right material. So do you have Crystal's original report? It looks like a handwritten report.
Yes.
Could be 3 pages-ish.
yes, we have that.
Then you have the letterhead version of the service to Hector Palazzo as well. Has Crystal? Those?
No.
Okay.
People don't.
So let me hand these to you.
Yeah, just give them, I guess, the copies. There we go.
Just hand it out.
And then you'll be.
We've read the complaint, we've read the,
I read the
we've
complaint.
all read the complaint.
So
Yeah.
again, leading into this, one of the prerequisites is that the individuals who are gonna speak will be sworn in, and
Yeah.
that's why Clerk Scott showed up for us today.
Yeah.
Which we appreciate.
Thanks.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so anyone who is going to give testimony at this dog hearing, please stand. If you can, if it's difficulty, you can sit. In response to this oath, after I issue the oath, please respond verbally, I do or yes. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
Yes, I just.
Thank you. I'll wait until maybe someone else is gonna come in if you're
Okay.
late.
Okay, very good, thank you, Clerk.
So you have the complaint before you, so what I'm going to do quite simply here is invite the complainant, that would be Crystal. To come up, you guys, whoever's gonna speak, we're gonna start with the complainant side.
That makes sense.
What I'm gonna absolutely demand is order, okay? You may not agree with what's being said, but hold your comments until such time as you get to speak, okay? So if Crystal, are you Crystal? Okay, if you wanna come up and you can bring whoever you want and make your conversation relative to your original complaint.
Are you talking?
I have questions real quick. Is it just the complaints first and then whoever is?
Complainant side, so her and whoever she wants to bring to the table. If it's all four of you, then by all means, take a seat. Oh, sorry. Your podium.
Well, only the people that got sworn in.
Yeah, it was just me.
I think gentleman here got sworn in. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, it's first and then I'll have your.
I don't really have anything prepared. You guys have already seen my complaint. This dog is a danger to our neighborhood. It has attacked 3 times me last August. I actually have about a 2-inch scar on my left butt cheek from the dog. It attacked my neighbor and their dog, and then also attacked my dog in March, which caused significant injury to my dog. He is, I don't really know what to say. The dog is terrifying. Anytime I walk out of my house and they are either walking into the car without a muzzle on, he goes ballistic. He barks at everybody. He tries to like go for people, and they put him on a runner out back of their house, you know, for him to use the bathroom, and he just goes crazy back there. He barks at everybody, and I get like panic attacks. I'm scared that he's gonna get loose. You know, it's not a short leash runner in the back, so there's kids all over our neighborhood that are running everywhere. It's, you know, a safety hazard. Like if a kid is to run behind the back, what's gonna happen? Like it's already attacked 3 people. Well, 2 people and an animal. You know, so like I just have concerns of, you know, the well-being of our kids, you know, and the neighbors. I don't really know this.
You know, that's what it has, no, first and foremost, has nothing to do with the owners. The owners are great people. This is just strictly.
Could you state your
My
name?
name is Christoph Williamson. I'm a friend and also I live in the community of Lion Woods. I am new here. I just want to say, like I said, it's nothing against the owners. However, I personally watched this dog go out of its way to attack another human and an animal. And it's strictly going by the guidelines itself of where we live and the policies. It's against every single guideline they have. Support now, I'm sorry, a support animal or a service dog. Do we know any kind of dogs of a service animal to attack a human being? But by law, I mean, that's not a definition of a service animal. But to go by strictly, it's just like we've done. I've helped them out with give reports, trying to just get a dog off the premises. Where I'm from, Michigan, the dog bites a human being, it gets put down. Plain and simple. It shouldn't take 17 reports, couple cop cars, you know what I'm saying, to remove an animal for safety. And if it's me strictly, with me, my information, I have the policy owner, the policy rules and regulations for Lion Woods. You guys want to see them yourself. There's a dog breaks every policy that Lion Woods has. We reported it to Lion Woods management. However, they say they're not responsible for these type of animals. However, they're the ones that create the policy that we have to sign. So what do we do as a community to get situations done? Now, again, it's nothing against with the owners. It's just the dog needs to be removed from the premises.
And I do have one more thing to say. Like, I don't want the dog to be killed. You know, I am an animal lover. Like, that's not my hopes for this hearing, I don't want, the dog to be put down, maybe the dog can, be muzzled or, training or something, behavioral, something. But my hopes aren't that, to kill, to have the dog, euthanized or anything. I just wanted to state that.
I just want to say, I want out the premises, because if I have a situation with my family or kids from this dog, it's gonna be a different story. And I don't want that for nobody. Nobody deserves that type of animal, nobody deserves, what kind of a pet is a pet, you can't play with them. Play with something.
Do we have a copy of the Wyden Woods? Is that, do you have?
This is a copy, yes, I highlighted all the highlights, all the purposes. When we pass it to
I'd
them.
like to see that.
Yes.
We can pass it down. I'd like to see that.
Dr. Reynolds,
You can, do you want to see it first? You
Sounds good, thank you.
I can.
Yeah.
I also do have some pictures too, I don't know if you just wanted to see those.
The biggest issue is when it comes down to live woods, if you read the policy at the end of it, they're not responsible for any, as resident owners, pets. However, they can dictate what kind of pets go in the property, correct? So that kind of contradicts itself a little bit.
Chairperson, does that need to be read into the record?
I'm not sure of that. We might need to get a copy, but we could probably get it online and when we submit our stuff for the city, but it's in with that. But I think, I just wanted to read it, so. Okay. Is there any additional information?
I think it's pretty blunt stated. Pretty simple.
Okay, you guys you got any questions for them?
I do. I think some other commissioners, I saw writing down some questions. We'll start here at the table, and just work our way down that way.
Are there like medical reports for the bites?
Yes.
Or supports for the
I had
bites?
stitches
She's the one
done.
that got bit by
I
the dog.
tried to file a police report when I got attacked. I did call 911. The ambulance brought me to the Greenfield Hospital, but nobody came back to do a report with me. And it just honestly slipped my mind to, go and file.
We reported the strength of management the same day that happened, and they said that there's nothing that they can do about it, that they got to call like the whole animal police officers or that whole situation.
And I would like to see the medical report if you have a copy of it.
I just have pictures. I don't have a report.
It's
From mine, I only have pictures that I.
So that, yeah, she got
from
stitches
that
from the
day.
dog bite. And
I got stitches from the dog bite.
the police report from when it attacked Papa. There's that one.
I don't have that one.
No, okay.
No.
But they have been reported, they have been talking to both parties.
Yeah. So,
That was it? Yeah, that was the ER report was one of mine. Did you take your dog to the vet? Do you have a veterinary report?
With that one, no,
Okay.
we watched him for a couple days to see how he did. He was very tired and, stressed out and limping a little bit, but it wasn't like where we thought he had to go to the hospital. We did find a good like scratch that had healed up, that I had taken a picture of. It's like right on his like shoulder neck area.
Commissioner?
I'm all set.
Sure.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. So did you verbally or in writing report to management at Leiden Woods per their
Yes.
policy?
Yes, I have multiple times. I even tried to call, what was it? TDC,
Mhm.
White Woods, like higher ups, and nobody would contact me back. They told me that there's nothing that they could do.
Could you tell me the number of times you complained to management?
Probably 10 times.
I took three person myself, and I'm new here. I had to sign a lease, and I said, in order for me to sign a lease, I want to know their policy and guidelines. Because they're willing to not listen to some of the people that live in the community. And that's something I want to be part of.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
We're gonna work our way down. Commissioner? Commissioner Burge, anything? No. Commissioner Dixon?
One question and just reviewing their policy at Lighten Woods, the runner that you just described, is that attached to a building or to a structure?
This
I
was
don't
back in their
know, it's behind their house, so I'm not sure.
This said states that they're not allowed to have that
Yeah,
regardless.
you're not allowed to have a
Only
runner.
leashes.
Because it
They're
says that
Yeah.
pets that may not be leashed or tied to any interior or exterior building fixture,
Yeah.
right in their policy at Lighten Woods. And also it's not supposed to be longer than 36 inches. 3 feet, okay. I don't have anything else right now at this time.
You guys come back.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Not to say it's, only, I come back up if need be, but Hector, you can step up if you want. Take a seat if you can do that.
I got perfect in my feet.
Chair.
Take your time.
I got a training and so on, you got a training. I got the paper of the door, the vaccine, and it's. We gave it back to Chris.
I don't know if you need all this, but it's right here.
Okay.
Statement from last time your dog went after their dog,
You guys should keep that. We have.
and then, this just proves that he has all his baby shots, his everything.
Why don't you take a seat? You wanna sit down, take a seat?
It's gonna be my feet, you
You
know.
wanna stand? Okay.
No, so you said,
I'll take a seat.
yeah, however you're comfortable.
All right.
So you heard what was said by the complainants, right?
Yes.
So basically, you have the right to speak out, in response to those comments. So, this commission, their job is to decide whether or not this dog is a nuisance dog, is a dangerous dog, or if this is closed altogether.
Right.
Okay, the negative findings. It goes without saying, there's a bunch of dog people here. We don't like things bad happening to dogs either, but we need a safe disposition. So
Absolutely.
please add your side and they may ask questions of you.
Yeah, and first of all, I got that dog in Puerto Rico 2 months old. And do everything I can to train. And right now he's ready to go to behavior class. And my dog is not a dangerous dog. My dog is two incidents. The first incident, the dog formal, he opened the door by himself, he go by me. I cannot see in the movie. And the lady was screaming there, say something about the dog. And the way that I can move, I said, please don't move, I'll take care of it, I'll go get it. Then the dog didn't even barking or nothing, so she tried to move, and I said, please don't move. I was yelling myself, don't move. I get it. And I go over there. Before I get there, she turned out, start running. The dog was in front, and the dog just nibbled by in there, but I don't know, they're talking about teacher or everything. I didn't see nothing. I asked for helping. I asked for any money for medication or something, and they declined. In the second incident, my dog coming on my way outside, the Charlie, she ready to put it in the car. When that little dog, they got a little dog. It was like 7 people outside. It was in the middle of the people with no leash whatsoever. The dog started running to my house, it's like 100 feet distance. And they start barking at my dog. They keep going back at my dog, go back at my dog, try to go right left. My dog turned around. I tried to defend himself. You don't know better. It's another dog barking. You know how those small dogs are. They barking, they barking. They think they talk. And, but my dog is not a fighting dog, it's nothing. It's a protecting dog. If my wife is in trouble, the dog want to protect us. If I am in trouble, the dog want to do the same. And the much of what that happened, she fell down. That's where the dog decided to go after the other dog. But they told me, he say, I never see that guy before. Give me no friend.
Yeah.
Never see it before. I lived there for almost 20 years. Never see it before. No incident how the dog was another human. That ain't true. But if the two incidents, one of them my fault because I can get there quick as a normal person can do. So I get my dog. In the second incident, 7 people in the middle of the little dog. She ready to put it in the car, but that dog start running from the house to my house. Start backing and go after the dog. The dog at defensive mode. He was in defensive mode, that's it. But the other human that he attacked, I want you to know, he told me who it is. So I never see him before. I never had complained for other people. Only 2 incidents with the same little dog. My dog is chained outside with the chain not longer than 36 inches. It's a key. I can say it right. I don't know if the key is sitting there or not. He started walking that dog out back. I'm the only person that got a back door. So my dog can go outside and everything. He tied up in the porch. He go outside, do his thing, and we bring it back. But I don't know if it's coincidence or what. Every time my dog's outside, that little dog coming out there, walking the dog out there. That's not a way to walk the dog. Nobody got door in the back except for my dog. Putting the dog back, 5 minutes, and then bring it back. He never attack anybody else. American do a stop and show when I suppose my dog is dangerous. He was home, brother too, I paid my dog playing with it and everything. Never by nobody. Never was afraid. So I don't know what to say anymore because I'm not a big talker.
He's a German Shepherd. He had him since 2 months old. Like you said, he came from Puerto Rico. What has happened since he's a German Shepherd and they collect who they want to collect as their priority to watch him? Choose us. We don't let him really associate with anybody in the front where all people are. So when he gets loose, he overexcited. I can't get the word right, but he's overexcited about seeing everybody. So he did a lot of barking. When he got loose on him, yes, he did go running. He did bite him in the bottom. That was one incident. And then one time, the other time was when I was bringing him to the car. Strong chain, snagged out my finger. Dog came running, he got a big dog. Tried to get it loose. Her boyfriend helped me. Took the dog and the dog went running back home. I got him in the house. Now we have a dog cage for the dog in the house. So when we go anywhere, we put him in the cage. The dog officers that did come explained to me that the first time she did get bit, we did explain everything that we do, whatever we could to help you. We were sorry. It was an accident. The second one was an accident too. And the dog officer said it was a little tiny mark, but there was nothing to really worry. Now, I do got pictures where he is out back, and there's nobody out back except for his step, and then right next door is another step. Everything else is a little bit of woods and the back windows only. Now, when he goes outside, he can see through the trees down to the lower level where people are. And he barks at him. And he constantly barks. As soon as I hear him barking, I usually bring him where he was. I know he's being pestery. But other than that, I don't know if any other time that he bit anybody. Like I said, he gets too excited when he gets out front. That's why we don't bring him out front except to go to our car and back in. Otherwise, we keep him out back or inside.
I don't know if I told you about the first incident. It's something that happened. The dog, it's so smart. He watching him open the door. And he go open the door and by
And we have to
himself.
get little
I
clips.
think it go by me. I cannot see it quick enough.
How old is the dog?
He's going on 3.
4
Going on 4. Sorry, he was 3.
4 years old.
I got
I
pictures
was
of
not
him.
anybody go to my house and my dog gonna be losing there. See my dog by you, what's in my name?
Where I live, I have dogs. He can play with them all. He plays with every single one of them. I got big dogs, little dogs downstairs, everything. Not a problem.
And
But
one
when
more
it
thing,
comes to,
excuse me, one more thing, it's, I got a question for, I don't know your name, so. You say my dog go out there, another human. Can you
Yeah.
tell me who? was?
Connor and Odin. Becky and John said that your dog attacked her son and their dog.
No.
Which is a pit bull.
No, that's
no, I heard
impossible.
that there was a pit bull, And there's
People
still a
go
pit
out there,
bull
might
there.
say, and the dog got in the
but
middle.
it wasn't
The
our
dog
dog
was in my
that
porch.
after them.
The
Where's the
dog-
pit bull?
the dog was in my porch
Their
side.
names is John and Becky. I don't know their last name. They're
Is
not.
that dog injured?
So she texted me and told me that her son was attacked by him, so I have proof through text message, that's all. I didn't see it with my own eyes, but I was told.
I mean, that easy thing with the people. The people, he
Went
walked
after
on the
the
people
kids.
when,
The pit bull
What-
went after kids, it wasn't our
exactly, what that
dog.
one kid in there. And, I sitting in the porch with my dog smoking cigarette. When the people see my dog, people keep running to my porch and try to attack my dog. I get in between it and he pick away people, he keep walking. But he didn't go out the guy, he didn't go out the people come to my house running. Running to my house when I see my dog. And I was sitting there smoking a cigarette with my dog. I don't never go after the people. I want him to tell me.
They just
What would the name of the other name, the dog attack, the other
They
human?
just told you what went on.
All right, why don't we move on to questions?
yeah.
The board, we're kind of repeating ourselves, so if the board has any questions.
Now, if there's any questions about wanting to see where he is in the backyard or around the area where we live, I got it on camera for pictures too, like she did. I mean, I'm not mad at them either. I understand totally. I'd be very upset if I got bit. I'd be upset if my dog got hurt. But my dog went out towards the other, their dog came after ours. And the other dog was overstimulated. Mine was overstimulated, and that's when he got hurt. Which I couldn't stop because I was incapacitated in the bathroom, so.
Okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll just go down the line with the commissioners to ask questions. Commissioner Burke, go ahead.
Can you tell me about the behavior classes that your dog is taking?
We're not in behavior classes yet.
Not yet, it's, we in the waiting list, waiting for, they call it to a committee with, they only take seat up, it's in the fair ground, yeah. They don't, he ready to go soon, they call me, I don't think I don't need it. But I wanna do it for my own good, for the good of the dog. I got a case, I got muscle. I didn't take it out, he beat out the muscle. The most of the time he's pain in the cage, here in my house. I don't know what to do anymore. My dog is not a bad dog.
You said that a number of the incidents your dog was provoked. Did those people come on like your property and did they come into an enclosure and that's why your dog reacted?
We can't have an enclosure because of where we live. And it's not like they're right beside us provoking. What it is because there's a path that goes around our area down to another level. He can see through the trees and he barks in that. Well, a couple of incidents, and I'm not trying to point fingers or nothing, but the child was barking back at my dog, like it was an antagonizing type of situation. I said, please don't do it. I haven't heard no more since. So we were good there. But the problem is he can see through the trees and he sees anybody else. Yeah, so it scoops down,
There's a
he
walk
gets to
back there.
see anything
Walk
and
back.
everybody. But it's mostly trees between my house and theirs down below.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So. And I do try to let the kids know when he's out back, try not to go out back because of what's going on, because he's a barker and they all know. Everybody knows that he's there, so.
That's all the questions I had.
Okay, so we are confirming that there was a dog bite
Yes.
to the person and that another dog was,
It happened to be the same family. Both
just
this
happened, but the other dog did get a little roughed up.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, so we're not denying that fact at all, those facts at all, okay. Those are the only two questions. The dog training was one of mine. I wasn't really fully understanding if the dog was already in dog training classes or
Well,
gonna be
we're working on it.
working on. I know they're tough to get into. I know there are others. I did this, mine went through them and they were a waiting list to get in because there's not that many out there to begin with and they're hard to get into. So I do understand that there is a waiting list if
I'm training to be my dog, a service dog. And he do it fine with me everywhere I go. He's an obedient dog. He's not a bad dog, he's a good dog. People got it wrong crazy.
sure.
It's a big dog, the only thing is a big dog, you bite.
Can one of you explain to me the area, you know, where you live from each other?
So
please?
so where I live,
Let her talk first.
where I live, so it's like in the corner. And then I have a neighbor here and then they probably live maybe, 500 yards from me?
It's four.
Farther up.
Yeah,
apartments.
farther
So
down. So they live, so like I'm
So
here and then
toward-
they
toward the
live
river.
here. So I
So
live
your
here.
backyard faces them?
No, my front
We have
door
nothing to
faces
do.
there, like the front of their house.
Okay, okay. So
So,
your fronts face each other?
Yeah.
Fronts face each other?
no,
No.
no,
like an
no,
elbow.
so it's like an L
It's like an
shape.
L shape.
Okay,
So they're here and I'm here.
You're on the
Okay.
Line Woods Lane side,
Yes.
there towards the back.
Yeah.
Can't fit to my porch.
Okay, and your dog is mostly in the.
Always in the back.
In the back of the yard unless it escapes.
Yeah.
It's loose.
He got-
So it's in the back of the yard.
No, he's always in the back, but he got loose from being in the front. When my husband opened the door,
Okay.
he couldn't catch him quick and he was out.
When he's in the back, is he on a leash?
Yes,
Is it a runner?
No,
no,
it's a rope, not a rope, I mean,
it's a chain.
it's cable. It's a cable thing for a dog, so
Okay.
you can't get broken from it.
Okay,
Is it in the ground?
No, because I didn't want him to pull it out of the ground at all, so. What it is, it's tied onto the post
okay.
of Lyden Woods, which they've seen over and over. They haven't said nothing to us about not having it. And the only reason why it's there is because when I'm not there and he's blind, you can just click him real quick, let him go to the bathroom, get him back.
How long is the leash?
It's about 36 inches.
About 50
That is
I mean,
40 inches.
there's space, like this much space between the woods and where the dog is to even walk through.
So he's not in the backyard intentionally off the leash?
No,
No.
never.
Okay.
In the front yard either.
And every time he starts barking, I know somebody's been around, so I go out and bring him right back in.
All right,
I said, well, lady, boy,
No,
and you had mentioned that, when you're in the house, you have a crate?
Yes.
yes,
Does he sleep in the crate?
Yes, he does.
And if you have company over, do you put him in the crate?
Yeah, until he calms down.
Sometimes
Okay.
or my
Once he
kids
calms down,
come,
he can
everything.
come out and
though.
see people.
Okay, so you
and
use
he's fine.
a crate as a safety place for the dog,
Yes.
for him, is it her, it's a him, right?
It's a him.
For him and for people when they first
Yeah.
come over. Okay, great. That's what I do with mine.
Yeah, when he backing so much, I put my finger like that, he goes straight to the cage.
Okay, okay, great. That's all I had.
okay.
Nothing at the moment.
Commissioner.
In addition, I'm sorry, in addition,
But then, we're going through to see if folks have questions.
My question is, I see several problems here. First off, the gentleman's blind and he can't control the dog unless the dog can see his commands. He can't control the dog if he happens to open the door because again, he can't see the dog, how quickly it's moving, and so he's not capable of stopping the dog from escaping. I'm questioning the situation with the cable and the post and why Lyden Woods has let this go on. They say that there's no liability on their part, but I see that there might be some liability with them allowing it and not stopping it. Because this seems like a situation that should have been taken care
Can
of.
I just interrupt
Yes.
respectfully? Right now, we're in the stage of asking them questions. I
Got
think a lot of your stuff is gonna be involved when we discuss.
I got
So if you have any questions for them, let's ask the questions.
You said something about the cable. How long is that cable?
3
Does it
feet, a
run-
little bit less, doesn't
Okay.
even reach from the,
The porch to,
it goes from the bottom of the porch. Okay, here's the bottom of the porch. I have them here. It's just long enough to go around the stairs to come up. So I can disconnect them.
Okay.
So when it goes straight, it's probably just basically,
6 or 8
this is
feet?
my stairs, 2 guys. And that's the
Six
space.
or 8 feet, you're saying?
So,
Or
no,
10?
No, it's
No,
like
less.
this.
Less.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because
less
it's
than
just
6
enough to
feet.
reach around.
Okay,
And we have a neighbor right smack next door to us, right, he doesn't even reach.
okay. I'm just questioning how long the leash is and everything else.
It's okay, it's just answering.
No sé, no,
In training your dog, when you brought the dog up, did you do a lot of tussling and training with a chew toy and things of that sort?
a tennis ball. A tennis ball.
The tennis ball. So would he bring the tennis ball to you? And-
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so,
Everything.
and had he ever chewed up anything in the house?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
When-
Can I add something, please? In addition, I got, when he opened the door, the FedEx with them, I buy lock. And I lock my door.
So he
They
doesn't
got
have
locked
chance.
inside, so they cannot go down or to open the door.
Okay.
No, the questions that I had have already been covered. Thank you.
Regarding the clips, do you have pictures of those, or do you know how long ago you purchased them?
I'm not sure if I
Double
actually took
question.
the clip for the door, it's
Oh.
a safety lock. Where you put one part underneath and one part on top. Cause it's
It's like a baby
Yeah.
lock,
yeah,
because I have them on my door for my kids.
cause he figured out how to put this part and push it and go.
He's a large dog, so
So
you
we,
can get through.
yes,
What door, what door was that?
that's the.
Front door and the back door.
Yeah, the back door he doesn't bother with at all.
Front door. Or-
And then my other question was, you mentioned about having owning the dog since it was about 2 months old, and he's now almost 4 or about 4 years old. How long has he resided in Woods?
All the time.
He's been there for almost 20 years and he's been living with him.
Since he was
all 4
10.
years. I go and hang out with him to help him through the day or whatever and through the night. And then, like I said, where I live, I have 3 large dogs like him. And my sister has 4 little dogs below, and I mean little, something like the size of your bottle. He has no problem with any of them. So I don't know, like I said, I think he's overstimulated once he gets to the front. I'm not trying to say anything bad at all, because I really like you guys. But I think he gets overstimulated and he loses his mind, where the focus ain't there. And then I have to yell at him and I have to chase him. And the last time he did get done, I had to have a stick and slap him in the ass. He helped me. And then he stopped. And it was okay. He went his way and I was able to get him. That's yeah. But I mean, he's not out there to literally hurt somebody. He just is out there being a little
The dog
Great.
is licensed,
licensed, insured.
it's up on its.
Yeah,
All the
Actually,
things and everything.
That was the other one.
That's the one thing. but-
Vaccinations current.
Yeah, everything's right here. If you need copies of everything.
The dog fixed.
No, that's another thing. It costs almost like $1,000 to get it fixed. And I've been working
Yes,
really
it
hard
does.
on trying to get it done, but I don't know.
I'm putting the money to
Even
it.
500 is where they dropped it down to at one point. It's just really tight.
Is there any other questions for commissioners?
Both parties have mentioned having pictures and things. Is there any way that we could have those ordered to us for our records?
The beach for the back.
Yeah,
You can get them all to me. My email address is on our website, and you can forward all your pictures that you got to me. That way it
Your
knows.
email's on your website.
It's on the website, yeah. So I first, last name, and then there's a standard email. But you can get that to me in the event we don't render a decision tonight. But you guys still have the information as to the steps if we vote, okay?
We have all that.
So are you all set? You guys done with your questions?
One more. You mentioned you have a muzzle. Do you have trouble getting the muzzle on the dog, or is that easy for you to do?
No,
We use the muzzle ever since.
every time. I got three different mufflers. We using the one that cover the whole mouth.
Yeah, just one more question here.
So how many dogs are in your house?
One,
One, in your separate location?
yeah.
In the same area?
In town, no, not in Leadwood's.
Oh, okay, okay.
Children to all I did fifty.
Okay, I wanna make sure I
Yeah,
understand.
oh,
You have
no,
one
we're
dog in the
talking-
house, this one,
Yeah,
the
one
dog
dog.
we're talking about. Okay, thank you. All right, that's all I. Okay.
Anybody else think of anything else before I close the questions?
Well,
Yeah,
of the complainant, how old is your dog?
My dog's 9.
9, okay, and been there since
He's
it
been,
was.
yes, and I've had him since he was a
Okay, as
puppy.
well.
Does he run around off leash?
No, so that day the door was left open.
I
By accident.
walked in and he got
He,
right out.
and he ran out.
So he likes other, he
he's-
plays with other dogs.
So, he used to take off all the time out of the house, but he has trained him really well. And that was the first time in maybe like a year that he's actually ran out of the house. He ran out because he's seen their dog. He's a very loving, my dog is a very loving dog and wants to say hi to everybody. So he took off out of the house. Their dog was not leashed either, so that was an accident, it happens, but the dog would not release my dog. But the day that their dog bit me, he had told me that the dog got out of his crate, opened their door, and he came to, he
Yeah, he ran out
bit
of
me
his way.
in front of my house. I was on my steps of my house when he bit me.
So he wasn't even near the home.
okay, okay. I think we're good. Yep, I think we're good now.
Close the hearing and start the deliberation.
Yep, at this time, we'll close the hearing at 6:43. Notes, and we'll start
You
deliberation.
guys can go back.
Yeah.
So you're aware this is public, right? So this board will deliberate on what we just heard from you. It's not to say they might fire some questions back at you. But we're gonna discuss what we heard and come up with a conclusion, maybe. And hopefully we can come up with some resolutions in between. So, again, first, starting sort of the deliberations, I want to thank this group for their civility. Clearly, you guys are part of a community there. You're not looking to really beat on each other. You're trying to come up with a rational and reasonable resolution to this, and I thank you for that. I have seen when these get really, really much uglier than this. So, from my perspective, it looks like it could have potentially been an excited dog, responding to an excited dog at one point. One dog is clearly much bigger than the other. So for the board, my biggest concern, I think, Gary, you would indicate as much as, it seems like, Hector, you're having trouble controlling your dog. And that's what we need to figure out.
No, I don't. I control my dog.
None of this would have happened if you controlled your dog, so we need to figure that out.
You're probably right, but none of this should happen. They keep the dog on the leash. There were 7 people there, and the dog started running to my house.
I get it. Well, we're gonna discuss it. Okay, but it was a failure of, at one point, both to keep their dogs behind, okay? So my comments are to that fact. It seems like everything is predicated on this dog making its way out past its owner into the community of Lyden Woods. So that's a big concern of mine, so. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna start our deliberation. So first, we need to decide if the dog's a nuisance dog. Or
So you can run across, at the end of what we're gonna talk about, that's what we're gonna decide, whether or not we
Okay.
dump this altogether and say unfounded,
Mhm.
or the dog is a nuisance, or the dog is dangerous.
The procedure's a little, just to explain it to you, the procedure's a little bit new to us too.
It's our
so-
second hearing.
This is our second hearing, so it's all new to us.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for the practice, we appreciate it. So yeah, we deliberate, talk about what we think, it may not be able to happen today, considering we don't have the photos. So if the panel wants to see the photos and collect more information, we just may hit a roadblock today. And they have to maybe at the next meeting, discuss that. I think my personal opinion as part of the panel is that they were very straightforward about it. There was a dog bite. The dog did get out, and I appreciate the honesty on the part of those who were complaining against. The dog bit a dog, the dog bit a person. So what do we do from there?
Right. Well, number one, I'd like to probably see some pictures, the pictures of the bite, the pictures of the area, the pictures of the chain where the dog is tied up to, stuff like that before I make a determination. Obviously, we don't have an ER report or anything like that. We don't have a vet's report.
I didn't know I had to bring it, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
That was
fine. I mean,
I didn't either.
Well, I can get the ER from when I was in the hospital and I can,
Well, what was the extent of it? You said you had stitches?
Yes, yeah.
How many stitches?
I think like.
Hard to see.
She couldn't see them because they were on the other side.
No, I took pictures of it. I wanna see
You show
like
panel, I would.
I got it with the police
Four?
officer, he told me
looks
that
like 4
he was-
stitches.
2 points in the cheek, like 2 points. He was trying-
So 4 stitches.
I thought sorry with the police officer.
Was that the only injury?
For my.
So, yeah, that's nuts. They all panels here.
You can show the panels.
So who?
This
Yeah. This is like for how he's doing, it's right here in my butt.
we don't have to discuss it as a nuisance dog or a
Probably
dangerous
about 2
dog.
inches big.
Should
If you
with
don't,
the dog,
if the board isn't
that's
comfortable, they
the
have enough
side of his neck
information,
right
you
there,
want
so it's
that
pretty
first, then we'd have to table it to the next meeting.
Right.
Like a puncture.
puncture, yeah.
Well, that's the board if they want.
Probably lived in the woods and walking rate probably for a good 4 weeks. But yeah.
And that was the one that happened in March, April timeframe.
So this was August when this happened, and then this was the dog was March.
Mhm.
And then I did, cause he scratched me too.
We did, yeah, we did.
No, I-
Two at a time.
Yeah, 2 at a time.
Bite mark For me.
So. Well.
I have another question, Crystal.
Yeah,
What were you wearing at the time?
I was
I
wearing.
think we're.
Okay, so it was not a heavy duty fat.
No, it's fine.
It's fine, okay, I just wanna make sure we're not going against
No,
any
I told them that
procedure or
we may have
thing or
additional-
anything like that.
No, I
Sure we're not
told them
doing
we have
anything
additional
wrong.
questions.
Okay, I just wanna make sure we're not doing anything wrong.
Actually, on that note, the deputy chief made a good point. Do you have any disposition to this that you believe makes sense? What do you think needs to be done?
Honestly, I feel like he's danger to the kids, what if there's a lot of kids, like running around all day long? Like. Honestly, I feel bad, but I don't think he should be there,
In fairness, we have no reports of the dog attacking any children.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
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 I get it.
I mean, if I can say one statement, he's a nice dog, he's nice to anybody, bring him in here, you walk up to him and pet him. Do it to any dog that's a nice dog, they'll let you pet it. Plain and simple, you shouldn't have to muzzle a dog,
Who's dog lit? You walk up.
anybody. There you go, that's the answer,
No.
that's the answer.
If I'm not around, maybe. And I don't mean to be this way,
No,
I think
correct,
he
yeah.
chose
No,
me.
I know, I train dogs for a
You
living,
know
so
what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying,
saying.
that's what I think he did was chose me.
You have a
and-
statute, you gotta understand,
Yeah.
the dog, we can't take any. Action against a dog for protecting its own, we can't, in fact, that's
No, I
first and
understand. Yes.
foremost
Yep.
in the statute, okay, so if our perception is the dog in any way, shape, or form protecting its home, its owners, or its property.
Yeah.
This is null and void.
Correct. Well, what's
So-
considered property in Lion Woods?
Well, his
Parking
home.
lot, yeah, the parking
His
lot,
home.
running through the sidewalk to attack.
Well, again, I think
Yeah.
there's additional circumstances,
100%, yes,
what I'm
for sure.
saying though, in terms of the law, we don't have any authority over a dog protecting its home.
Oh, I would
That's all I'm
agree, yeah, I
saying.
agree with you, yes, sir.
There has to be more, it seems like there's a little bit more, but
100%.
And again, we have to take what we have, and what we have right now is, there is no attacks on children, sure. We want to make sure the dog is safe. Like I said in the beginning, this seems like a good group. You guys are getting along, one of the first things you said is you don't want the dog hurt, you don't want the dog put down, that's great.
Just as
So
he
it
goes.
seems like you guys may have thoughts of a solution. And it seems to me like just controlling the dog is what we
I think
need.
so. My go-to is just over, they live in another place, keep that dog at that property. So there's no incidents. Plain and
We can't
simple.
order that.
Well, I'm just saying, but that's an idea that.
I get what you're saying, but that's another thing. We can't order that.
So my thing is, until like
Or
they can get the dog
Yeah.
properly trained, is to be muzzled,
Yeah,
like.
with the case, we'll discuss that.
Yeah, we need to make our determination up here.
wanna make our determination.
Yes,
Please,
yeah.
let us do our thing, okay?
Exactly.
Appreciate that. So,
Personally, I would like to say that I'm ready to make a determination without. Because I think we've been provided quite a bit of information. I mean, I think just personally myself, as we're discussing this, is that the owners have made some effort, but not completely followed through with some of the measures that they've taken, or the dog is just gotten loose. So personally, I think that we need to, that I can make a determination, and I feel that probably all the steps that have been taken just need to be reinforced by being written down that this must be abided by, or we'll see the people back again. I think that's fair. I think the owners have tried to do due diligence. I mean, sometimes, my dog gets out the door sometimes. And he's 110 pounds, but he's a big friendly yellow lab, but I mean, he's scary looking if you're a little guy and he's running up to you, so. And he's busted through the door on me a couple times, so accidents do happen, things do happen. I mean, your dog got loose, their dog got loose. I mean, dogs do get away from you sometimes, no matter how much they get trained. Mine had good canine, good citizen, had everything, all the ways up through. And still sometimes dogs are dogs, and they mine unfortunately didn't bite anybody, but they do, sometimes they look scary, so I'm ready to make a determination. I don't know how the other commissioners feel, but
go one by one and see.
Commissioner Berger. Ready?
I think because it was an admission of the dog bite and you confirmed it. I think that we can move forward without getting more paperwork and ER information. So I say we can move forward. Going down the line.
Yeah.
Whether we can move forward or not, or you're comfortable moving forward or not.
Or discuss anything you want to discuss.
We have, this is like an evidentiary hearing, so. We have to determine facts, and then under the statute, the status has to be determined.
Right.
I've heard credible information that would allow me to make a determination that the dog is dangerous. If I'm following the statute. The remedial action seems to be a little less clear or a little less onerous once we made the determination. So what are the determination of facts? So the facts that I feel that I can credit are that the dog acts spontaneously and that the dog creates a credible threat that a reasonable person would see as such. And then I've seen evidence of a picture of a dog bite. And I've also heard from the other party, the owner of the dog, and I don't think that you have any bad intentions here. That you're trying to come to some determination about how to be a community there. But our role, as I'm reading it, is do we agree that we have enough facts? What are they? And then we have to vote to determine the status. Is it in fact a nuisance dog, a dangerous dog, or none of the above? And then at that point in time, we would make a determination that I believe would be a recommendation as to what steps can be taken. And so I'm comfortable that we have facts. So I think if we as a board are comfortable on facts, then we could make a determination as to status. And then I guess further deliberate or wait for some of the stuff that was asked for to make a determination of how an order should be written to satisfy the parties. So that's where I am.
I have sufficient facts to make a decision.
Same here.
I feel like I have sufficient facts, but I would like to have additional details on file for our files, for our purposes. And I also think this being new and to most of us, I would like to review again, the difference between a nuisance and a dangerous dog and that what applies or doesn't apply to each. And I think it's a good review for us here.
I can read those if you'd like.
All right, get to it. We can.
Nuisance dog as defined. 1, by excessive barking or other disturbance is a source of annoyance to a sick person residing in the vicinity, or 2, by excessive barking causing damage or other interference, a reasonable person would find such behavior disruptive to one's quiet and peaceful enjoyment, or 3, has threatened or attacked livestock, a domestic animal, or a person. Such threat or attack was not a grossly disproportionate reaction under all circumstances. Dangerous dog. If the hearing authority deems a dog as a dangerous dog, a dog that either 1, without justification, attacks a person or domestic animal causing physical injury or death, or 2, behaves in a manner that a reasonable person would believe poses an unjustified imminent threat of physical injury or death to a person or to a domestic or owned animal. That's the 2 definitions.
Yep, go ahead.
I'd like to ask, ma'am, can I ask you a question? When you say the dog got out of the house and ran across the street.
Yep.
Was it attacking your dog and then you intervened to try to pull it away and you got bit? Or did
No,
it come
no, no.
across the
So
street and just
I went outside because my kids were outside playing.
Okay.
So I went outside to check on them. So I came down the steps, which you come out of my house and it's only like 2 steps and then you're on the sidewalk. So I'm stepped right down and all of a sudden I look up and I see the dog.
Yeah.
But by the time I see the dog notices me and he immediately started growling and barking and was like running full speed at me. So then he stopped right here and I was like this at him. He's right here, his full teeth, and he's just. So I got scared. You know, the dog is growling and barking at me. So I didn't want to get bit here. So I turned I turned this way. And when I turned, he latched on and I pulled, that's it. Literally, he ripped my skin open. And when I pulled off, I walked up the steps and he came at me again. So I quickly ran in the house. If I didn't run in the house, he would have bit me again. It wasn't like he was just one bite and done. He was going to attack me again, but I had to run into my house.
Were your kids already inside by then?
No, so my kids were at the basketball court, which is probably,
It's
on the other side of the court, yeah. So they were a good distance away. But my friend that lived right by the basketball court at the time brought all the kids into her house because after the dog bit me, he took off that way towards the kids.
Okay. Thank you for answering the question.
So I guess we need to decide, is the dog a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog? And I think we just go down the board and see what the board thinks and see if the board's in agreement. Let me put on the spot first, so you want me to start at the other end this time, Commissioner?
A nuisance.
A nuisance. I'm along the lines that the dog's a nuisance dog because we can apply the same. Just about the same rules underneath what we want to see followed under a nuisance dog, so I'm tending to see it as a nuisance dog. I do have one question
Can I
for the
add
chief.
one thing, just so the board knows, or one thing to take into account, and again, trying to be objective, yes, but if any wasn't here in the last hearing, in the event, one caveat, in the event the dog is deemed by this board a dangerous dog, the animal control officer reported they can't then adopt it after. It's essentially means if the provisions of what the owner is ordered to do does not get carried out, that is certain death for the dog. So I just want the board to know what, all the effects of what their decisions can be in
Yeah.
this. So a nuisance dog, that's not part of it. They can actually still adopt. But once that designation was made of a dangerous dog, it then ties the hands of animal control in future adoptions.
So I did remember that. So, can we put in a caveat that if this happens again and we get more complaints that we will revisit
We
the.
have to do another hearing.
We have to do another hearing, but we would be back in front of this commission.
Commissioner Dixon said that's why it'd be good to have that stuff.
Yeah, so me personally, I'm with the nuisance dog, and I do know what I want to apply to it under the order, so it's adhere to, so. I don't know if we discuss that now, or we just discuss that after.
First determine what it is, and then we'll break down the provisions.
Okay, very good, I just want to make sure I'm following the steps correctly.
Because of that fact that the chief just stated, I mean, I would. If that wasn't a fact, I would list it as a dangerous dog, okay? And then we have to go through the steps of what we do for that. A lot of the steps between a nuisance dog and a dangerous dog, we can add things, some of them are the same, right? But in the case of, I don't want to see the dog be put down, I will call it a nuisance dog at this moment in time, at this hearing. It could change in the future, but for me, right now, it's a nuisance dog.
Commissioner Wood, moving on to you.
Shouldn't have gone lawsuit.
Okay. Hey,
Hector, please understand, the ruling of a nuisance dog is a good thing.
It's better.
Hector, it is better.
I know what you're saying.
Let them take his break.
Yeah. Ryan, yes.
My problem
understand what you're
is not that I'm not a humanitarian. I'm asked to be part of this hearing and to follow a statute. And if I look at the definition of a nuisance dog, I have to take into consideration whether a threat or an attack was not a grossly disproportionate reaction under the circumstances. But I think it was. I didn't write this law. So the definition of a dangerous dog is where the reasonable person standard applies. That the reasonable person seeing or understanding what this evidence is would believe that the act was an unjustified, imposed an imminent threat of physical injury. Well, I think we have evidence of that. So if the animal control officer would like to appear here and defend why we should go outside the statute where we're bound to make a decision as a threshold, then that's fine. I'd like to hear from the animal control officer. Because I'm not persuaded that we have some flexibility here.
I think, yeah, but I
Outside
think we
the law.
do, so I think
Well,
we do.
I'm reading the statute, Mr. Chairman.
That's fine,
what I'm
that's
asked to
fine.
do.
Yeah.
The law is different than what's in the papers that we were given. The law doesn't actually define nuisance and dangerous.
Well,
It just says you can't call something dangerous based on certain
So
stuff.
where does this come from?
ACO. DH. That's not here.
The ACO that's not here that says if
It
we
is MGL.
follow the statute, then the dog
Like, so
dies.
This is the actual MGL.
Who's the
It's-
ACO?
And it's
The one that
different.
appeared last time is Kyle Dragon. He's like the lead ACO.
It's
He's
MGL
on
one
the board.
157.
Yeah.
Which this
The
is,
status part.
I don't know if you can read this, but
So to be
The
clear,
statute is quoted.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but to be clear, folks, to be clear, commissioners, the only difference between a nuisance dog and a dangerous dog, as far as what the results are, is one of the options for a dangerous dog is to put the dog down. So I agree with you, Commissioner, what you're saying, but I'm looking at the end results. And, I don't think the dog right now should be put down or there's no reason for the dog to be put down. If it was a different scenario, it could be. But at the end of the day, if you look at, once we determine whether the dog is dangerous or the dog is a nuisance, a lot of the results are the same with the exception of the dangerous dog. One of them is put the dog down. So I just wanted to make that clear. So it's not that I'm not disagreeing with the language we have here. But I mean, we're taking a vote. There's 7 of us.
Yep.
And again, my vote was nuisance dog. Other commissioners can say, vote for what they want, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with.
Or refuse.
You, a commissioner, well, no, I'm not, I just wanted to make that statement that there's really only, in the end result, there's only one difference.
And keep in mind that one person's subjective view of disproportionate may be different from others. So, you know, again, I respect an individual commissioner's decision that was disproportionate. So other commissioners see it as proportionate.
Well, it's a reasonable person standard. It's not a subjective standard. Would a person acting in the same or similar circumstances, based upon the facts that we're, I guess, given credibility here, believe that a dog running to someone and taking a bite out of their butt is a disproportionate reaction to the circumstances? It's not subjective, it's objective.
Well, I think it's subjective in the fact that, like I said, as part of the statute, and I think Commissioner Barger alluded to it, and we alluded to it earlier, is if there's any indication that this animal is trying to protect its owner, then it is proportionate. So
That's not on the record.
It is.
Where is that on the record?
Well, I'm saying if that's a possibility, then it is a proportionate response. I believe you said that that's what happens.
Yes,
You at least alluded to the fact that the dog gets overexcited.
yes.
And you also said that if you're not there, he may be okay, but when you are there, he protects you.
Yes,
So I think there's indications in there that dog could, and that's where I'm saying, that's where a bit of subjectivity could come into play here. I think some could deem this proportionate, some could deem it disproportionate, depending on what they're taking from the story.
I think the other thing to remember too is there's two separate incidences several months apart, and it's unfortunate because it sounds like the one that was more disproportionate was the first one. And you know, it's too bad that we didn't have this information, 6 months ago, so that we could have, done some decision making then and hopefully kept the second one back.
You do. I don't see a basis without more information for straying from the statute.
Yeah, how are you deeming?
I believe that the evidence supports that it's dangerous.
Okay. Now, my statement is that there's gonna be at least 100 yards between front door to front door. When a dog runs 100 yards to an innocent person, it is not protecting its owner.
You're not selling it to me. Just tell your story.
Okay, I'm just saying.
It ain't up to me.
This
Just give what
This
you
is
got.
my
I
view.
Is it 100 yards? I don't know.
It's good, it's good, distance.
It is across the court. I don't know how.
Yeah, but there's a roadway and then
There's a
two
parking.
lawns.
I think.
There's 2 lawns and a roadway separating the pieces of property. So I'm saying,
No,
It's pretty much a parking lot.
It's,
yeah,
yeah.
Picture a pot with a side rock that goes
Yeah.
around the perimeter.
yeah.
Yep, so I mean, it's still a good distance.
It's a
regardless
good
of height.
distance, but it's not, yeah.
it's not just a go out the door and here you
Yeah,
are.
no.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And when I see a dog do
And
that,
the day that he.
that's
bit
all
me,
I'm saying.
she-
I have experienced a dog bite myself. And it was a nuisance dog bite because I rode down a roadway and I was on a bicycle and he was protecting his family. So that was their backyard
In their curtilage or?
in their yard. It was in their yard. And so I rode, he bit me, he bruised me, but I had jeans on, so I was okay. But it was him protecting the family. I understand that if a dog actually protects the family, when the dog runs out and has nowhere to go and immediately finds a person and then proceeds to not let the person go back into their domicile, but bites them. This is what I'm saying. I believe that dog is a dangerous dog. Not that I want to kill the dog, but I don't want any other person in that complex. I don't want any other person in that complex to fall under a safety threat because I did not make a correct decision. So this is my point. I'm told that I'm supposed to make a correct decision. And for me, any dog that will not obey a voice command or a whistle or something is not under control. I'm sorry. If you can't control your dog because he gets out, and especially if the gentleman's blind, he can't see the dog from 100 yards. He doesn't know what the dog's doing. And so
That was there when that happened?
Yes, he was.
Was he trying to get the?
he had
So
blown past.
He said that he told me that he said that he yelled over for me to not move, but I didn't hear him say that. And I didn't even
say
see
that.
him.
And that's 100 yards with a dog growling at your butt. I mean, you know, you're gonna listen to that?
Your vote is your vote, make your vote. You can
And
sell it to me or not.
okay,
I'm the guy you're trying to
I'm
sell it
voting as a
to.
dangerous.
Okay.
I'm part of the panel, not the.
Sorry.
Feel like I'm on trial.
You're not-
You
Yeah,
put
I
me
know.
on trial, you're just a judge or DA or something.
All right,
He's good.
so I have to agree with these two guys. However, because the two options that you said, it won't be adoptable. What is going to happen to the dog? But if you read the statute, you read this, without, if a dangerous dog, without justification, attacks a person or animal, causing physical injury. He did that. He wasn't provoked. I mean, it was like, I'm sorry, but I have to say nuisance.
What do you say, what?
I would have to say nuisance.
Nuisance not.
So you're saying,
I'm saying nuisance. I said, but even though if, I just don't want to euthanize it.
Okay.
And put.
Oh, we don't have to, I mean,
You
it's,
don't have to choose that.
we don't have to either way.
Again, we don't have to, either way, we don't have to choose that. It's if the incident happens again, the dog will not be deemed adoptable. If you vote that it's a dangerous dog, which is fine. If it's a dangerous dog, it will not be adoptable. If it happens again and it gets to the point where the sheriff has to intervene and take the dog, then the dog will be euthanized. It won't be adopted.
Understand, just so the board is clear, that part may not be found in the MGL. So Kyle and Leslie running an animal control facility is basically telling you, and told us at the last one, they can't, in good faith, try to rehome a dog previously deemed dangerous. And again, you might not find that in the MGLs of this. This case, I don't want it sort of bleeding over from the last case, but I feel personally this case is much different than our previous hearing that we had. I see this dog probably staying with its owners throughout its life. But there is that chance that our next step is going to be to give our orders.
Right.
Here's what you need to do. As a result of this hearing, you need to take these steps. And if those steps are followed through, we're done. We're done. This dog goes on forever and they're safe, dog's safe. It's if they don't. And then another hearing comes forward.
Right.
I mean, it's almost certain at that point. What are we gonna do? That's a dangerous dog.
Can I speak for a moment? I'm reading the statute. We don't go from a finding of dangerousness to euthanizing a dog.
No.
No.
No. And they're two separate issues. I'm sorry. They're two separate issues. There is a definition based upon a reasonable person standard on what is what. I'm not trying to get a dog euthanized, and I feel like I'm somewhat being looked at that way. There's not a provision of the statute that says go outside the statute based upon your subjective opinion. So are we a town of laws or not? We can order on dangerousness that the dog be muzzled when it's removed from the home.
Yeah, there's
I
seven.
think that is a satisfactory result for the parties who don't want to hurt each other here. But I don't appreciate subjectivity if we're supposed to look at the law. And so that's the only way I can make a conclusion.
So,
I don't think anybody,
When
anybody's
people say
arguing
they
that.
think the dog is dangerous, but they're not gonna say that, then what does that mean?
Right.
You either think the dog is dangerous or you don't,
I do think the dog is dangerous, so
but
I'm
you're gonna
changing
call it a
my,
nuisance,
I'm
which is
gonna change
outside
it.
the statute.
all right, I'm changing it, okay? I agree,
I'm
I
not
agree
telling you
with
what to
you.
do.
No, what my concern was that I thought that what would happen to the dog is if I said.
Because that was suggested to us. It was suggested by the chief that we were gonna go from a finding of dangerousness to a story that's not happening right now, that the dog is not adoptable and will be euthanized. And so I wanna take back my criticism of the ACL. Because the statute is the statute. So we'll be objective or subjective. And I understand how difficult that is. I have dogs. I love my dogs.
Okay, I'd like to submit my vote.
Yes, you're the last one.
Yes. And I know I don't think everybody was here the first hearing that we had, the separate hearing, and that was a very different situation. But I agree with multiple commissioners that are on this. I believe that per definition, this is a dog that is considered dangerous. However, we as a board have recommendations we can give, and one of those that we can not include is the euthanasia piece. So my vote is for dangerous because it meets the criteria of dangerous with what I saw in that picture.
So the majority got it anyway.
Yeah, so the majority is, yeah, so it's a 4-3.
But an order can be, thank you, an order can be tailored.
Yes.
Absolutely, which we did last time, yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's where our flexibility lies.
Yeah, we went pretty creative
Yes.
on the last one and
And we didn't have, people on both sides presenting their side of things either. So it was definitely a different case.
There's obviously a very nice man here.
Yeah, and the defendants,
see, okay.
have tried to do things, yeah.
He's having a breakdown right now, but that's okay. Can I have one question, Slover? Since you guys all choose that he's a dangerous dog, and then there's 3. So that means if you guys come again, you'll have to put him down?
No.
Okay, well, because,
Well, we'll have to see this whole thing again.
yeah,
So what they're saying is
This whole thing will have to happen
Yeah.
again. Alls I'm saying with that, and I put that out there because we put it out last time.
no, that's
In the
okay.
interest of being consistent. Our animal control indicates that once it's deemed that way, they can't rehome it.
Right,
It causes that problem. Once that dog is labeled a dangerous dog,
Yeah.
which yours just has been,
yeah,
it doesn't mean any negative stuff will come, okay? We're gonna come up with a plan for you.
Yeah.
Based on the statute. And we're gonna ask that the owners and the dog come into conformance of those standards.
Mm-hmm.
The standards are designed exclusively to protect everybody from the dog. And then as long as you do, you'll never see us again.
okay. So, question. Since you guys have deemed him dangerous, which these are up, he is not able to be adopted any right now.
You can do whatever you want with the dog. The ACO, a state agency, can't
Right.
rehome that dog if they
Okay,
take
that-
custody of it.
All right.
There's no reason for them to take custody of this dog,
Right, okay,
right? That's what we're saying is way down the road, and even really bad things continue to happen.
Yeah.
And the state has to intervene and take that dog.
yeah,
It's not good for the dog.
okay,
So again, all the more sort of incentive to follow the plan.
right, exactly.
We want the dog to be safe.
And you've
Okay.
already done several of the
Yeah.
steps or attempted
Yeah.
to, which is, in my opinion,
I'm also insisting that all the residents be safe as well, because I don't want anybody in the neighborhood, especially a young child, to have what happened to her little dog. Because a young child, that dog could snap its neck. And it's very.
I think we're to the point now, it's a dangerous dog, we made that determination.
Yeah.
Go over the provision.
Now we'll go over the provisions. The first provision. the dog humanely restrained, I think should be part of the order. Is everybody in agreement or not?
Yeah. Should we read it out loud? Do we want to read it out
Should
loud?
we wait for Maria
Yeah.
or no?
It's recorded.
It's recorded?
Do we wanna add that it has to be 36 inches or less while
What?
light in woods?
Yeah, Light and Woods is very specific in their,
It's guys, sorry to cut you all off, but can we hold Lion Woods, it's not nothing to do with us, but just,
Oh, that's
just for
right.
everyone's
That's what I
sake,
was
just
gonna say.
to handle the rules and regulations, because they're like, my hands are up, it's,
yeah.
you know, then they put all, it puts all the heat on you, it puts all the heat on you, which is very
Yes.
abundant, so it's like,
We can order.
you know.
I think we could probably get TCB our results. And sort of bring them up to speed, because it's a public hearing, so we could pass it on to their management, saying, here's what the owner of this dog was ordered to do by the
My
town,
dog got it.
by the city.
And I'm not
And then, of
standing.
course, you have your own rule.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be following up anyway for liability purposes, so.
No,
It seems to me like we don't make Lyden Woods' rules, PCB's rules, that's their contract stuff. But if they wanna protect themselves, they might wanna follow their own.
yeah.
That could be pointed out to them.
Yes.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be here if
That's
they,
exactly, yeah,
If they
exactly,
had,
yeah.
yeah.
If they were following up.
I was gonna
and they
raise that
wanted us
as a topic on the agenda for another meeting,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're doing this because they weren't doing their own
Yeah.
job.
Correct.
Right.
And that's been our biggest issue, not just this situation, but like,
It's been.
who do we go to if we need help, rather than, you know what I'm saying, like, say the police or the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Well, they always tell us to go to
you're not
them.
lying,
You
you're not
know, no
lying.
matter what happens,
Yes,
they
ma'am.
tell us to
Yep.
go to them, and then they
Yep.
put their hands up.
Yep, and they don't do nothing, the same as they happen, and it's worse.
Okay, Maria's back.
Another.
What do you need me for? Yeah.
Well, we were going through the criteria.
Okay,
We
all right,
Okay.
so we're on number
So
one,
that's-
folks.
Yeah, so number one, is everybody agreed that the dog, provided however the dog is chained, restrained, it's in a cage in its house, while there, it's on a leash, it's tied up with a cable out back, it's being restrained humanely. So we're gonna order number one?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about number two, the dog combined the presence of they already do that, but we should put that in the order. So it's in the order saying that the dog needs to be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog.
Do we wanna mention both their premises?
Yeah, because it says. Yeah, if you read two, it talks about indoor and outdoor.
Right. But it is confined outdoor by a leash, by a
Right,
chain.
that'd be one, which is restrained. Two is there has to be like an enclosure and they can't
Yes,
have an
they're not
outdoor.
allowed to have an enclosure,
You
so.
can't have an outdoor enclosure in
According
Lightwoods,
to
so
Lightwoods,
given that
yeah.
order would be
We could say indoor.
indoor, right, indoor while it's indoor, which you already
doing that.
indicated.
Yeah,
So we would say that it would be indoor because they can't have a confinement outside.
Yeah, that's it.
For their,
For two, that's it.
And do we wanna say either residence, not just the primary residence?
Where do you live?
I
In
live
this
in,
town?
yeah, I live in Deerfield Street myself, yes.
Does the dog go to your house ever?
Yeah, he comes with me once in a while and that. I got a big fence in the front yard that says beware of dog and.
I don't know if we can, her address isn't on here, I don't think we could
Yeah.
make any type of ruling on her,
Okay.
on her residence.
As long as the dog's allowed to go to her residence,
I don't think.
that's what I
I
can care
don't
about.
think we can do that legally, this, it's her residence and the complaint isn't for her address, it's for this other address, I don't think we start making rules for her house, that's my opinion.
let's just stick to what's in front of us. So number two, we said yes, indoor, outdoor does not apply due to Lighten Woods.
number three, the dogs always keep the dog muzzled.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important one.
That's the most important one.
I mean, because it can't bite anybody if it has a muzzle on, supposedly.
So.
And there were some
Yeah,
limitations on that, it's not constantly. It's
right, so it
when
says when it's
removed
removed from the
premise.
premises.
Keep most
Of
of
the
them.
person.
Yeah.
Of the owner or the premises of the person keeping the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled. So
And-
like if you were gonna walk them to the car, for example, to take them to your house, that's when we would ask you to muzzle him.
Or if he were to be let out.
Yeah.
Back, because if somebody happens to be about back,
Yeah.
the dog won't be able to bite him if it has a muzzle on, but if it doesn't,
Yeah.
then there's a problem.
Okay,
And kids are notorious for going where they
yep, okay,
don't care.
yep, we get the point.
Okay.
We get the point. Let's
Number
move
four,
forward.
we gotta keep, we still have a whole meeting to.
Yeah, number 4,
You ditched that last time.
yeah, we just, I
I think
personally,
that's too onerous for these facts.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's talking about proof of insurance and everything,
yeah, insurance and stuff like that, but.
to have insurance on the
Yeah.
animal.
I was, that's work, but.
I think 5 is too onerous.
This is like microchipping.
I think they are anyway. I mean, they're registering their
Some of them
licensing.
are.
They're not,
It is
they're not outside
I
of.
feel like we should order it.
He is microchipped.
Okay.
They're within compliance of normal like licensing.
Yeah, they have it licensed, they have the rabies shots, they have.
So that's all compliant.
That's all
Right,
good,
the
yeah.
microchip was compliant.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to be redundant, do you, chief?
I know. No,
Okay, number 5.
there was a lot of discussion last time on this. Most would agree that animals would be less violent if fixed. I'm not sure on this age though.
How old's the dog?
4-year-old.
Going on 4, but I have been looking up on that, and they said now is the time to get a German Shepherd done.
He said that too,
Due
like
to the
3. wasn't it?
dysplasia in that of the hip, so I have been looking,
now.
no. But I have been looking to get it done.
Is there anything we can do to, did you mention that there was some financial constraints?
Yes,
Chief, do you know of any access we have to any help with that?
Don't,
The Humane Society wouldn't give them a break on
I
the.
have no idea. No, it's not something we do.
I think it's tough to enforce laws on people when they're economic.
And it's
value.
I just did mine and it is, and they're not lying. It's close to $1,000.
Yeah.
Doesn't Deacon in Springfield, don't they do?
$500.
Deacon has a program that they, I think it's a sliding scale.
Yeah, but that sliding scale brings you down to 500 on instead of 1,000.
There's
So-
also, for what it's worth, and I live in Gillen, there's a Dr. Cotter. He's down the road from me. He's my vet. He's extremely affordable.
Yes,
You might want to look into
it
him.
is true. My mother goes there.
The last dog that we had here, we ordered that.
Yeah.
Within.
What we need is, we need a notification of it, I think, within 30 days, and we were given
60
6 months to get it, because it's scheduled. It takes a while to get in there.
But to get in.
As long as we knew they were made it was like maybe 14 days. So you have to have called the vet to at least try to set up an appointment within a couple of weeks. The act itself, we gave them, I think, 6 months, but
Yeah.
I think it's a caveat that we should at least have in there. But leniently, I should say, like, if funding.
It's like an unfunded mandate that we
Sorry.
complain about,
Sorry,
right?
yeah, a lot of money.
And so I just,
But I think, again, I strongly agree, it is a necessity. The dog would be less aggressive, I think, if.
right,
My vote is that it has to happen, and we have to set a timeline to it. That's me. There's 7 of us, but if we're gonna vote
How
on this,
long have you been looking into
6,
this?
I think.
I've been
realistically?
looking into it for a couple of months at least now.
Okay, so are you getting closer?
I'm getting closer, so I will,
How long do you need to get it done?
I will work on it diligently and hopefully by next month have them done.
So
I will
30
try
days, you
very
think
hard.
you can have an appointment set?
Yes, for sure on the
20
appointment.
days for an appointment, 6 months for the alteration?
I would agree with
Does
that.
that make sense?
It's a lot of sense.
Okay,
You said 30 days, sorry.
30 days to have set up an appointment. No longer than 6 months to actually have it done. And can you get me all that? Like when you make an appointment, get that to me? I appreciate it.
So then
So
you'll
you can
report
confirm
back to us as it goes on.
thank you.
Of course, number 7, I'm not even considering number 7. To be euthanized, that is not on the table for me, and I don't think any party in here wants that to happen. So I am not gonna put that in. I personally feel that it should not go into order. I'm the only one person.
I would agree with
I
that.
agree with that.
I agree with that.
What's that now? Sorry.
Number
Not
7.
not putting number 7 in.
That's all.
I just have a quick question, clarification question for number 5.
Number five.
So, what did we
Back.
decide on that? Because I'm doing the up the notes. I'll be.
Yep.
He's chipped.
Chip.
He's already chipped.
What we were saying was
Right.
they're already well in compliance with all that stuff, so we were just kind of.
It's not applicable? Okay.
It's not maybe.
Because people were
NA.
throwing out numbers and I was writing it, I
I'm sorry.
passed out.
Number, yeah, that was.
Do you want me
not
to,
applicable.
do you want me
NA.
to review the yes, no of the seven?
Yeah, I think we're done now. I think so. Let's just do a quick review.
I'm not gonna say what all of them are, I'm just gonna say what it sounds like we
Please.
agreed
Hector, wanna
upon.
hear this?
Oh, yeah.
He's on his car. He's the owner.
These are you.
Yep.
I'll take
You're
it,
in.
because I know he'll eat, yes.
Okay.
Hector's
Okay.
representative will listen.
Yes. Okay, so number one, we voted yes. Number two, we voted yes for indoor and not applicable for outdoor due to Lightenwood's regulations. Number three, yes. Number four. I had that as.
Yeah, that's a no.
No,
It's a
yes.
no.
Yeah, I have it as a no. Sorry, I was looking at my scribbles. That's a no. Number five as not applicable because they're already chipped, vaccinated, etc. Number six as a yes, 30 days to set the appointment date and 6 months for the alteration to be completed. And number seven was a hard no. Hard no.
Appreciate everybody.
All of us. Is
Very good.
that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So good. One thing I'm just gonna add is we will get all this information. Mr. Dixon puts this together. We will notify you of the outcome as well as you of the outcome, and Hector. Everything will be in there in terms of the marching orders, but also I will include in there the appeal process. So there is appeals to this stuff through district court. Not an easy thing to do, understand, but hasn't happened yet, but again, I think you guys are pretty close already. We gotta keep the dogs in their place.
Oh, yeah.
Keep the dog under control. Appreciate it. Okay. Good.
Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing at 7:33.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, I'm gonna do my best, you guys, I promise, I really think we have to ever happen. Never. No, I know.
Dogs are already warmed up.
You too, I really, I hate looking out and see you guys. I hate that.
Folks, we still continue on our meeting, so we can take it out there. Be kind to each other.
We're all set. We'll be in touch, yeah.
Thank you very,
So
very
much.
We go back to our agenda. Oh, no, we're going back to our agenda. Hey, we're going back to our agenda, chief, so we have to follow our agenda.
Oh, yeah, what is
You
it?
guys aren't up next. I'm sorry to inform you of that. Sorry, deputy, I see you trying to muscle your way in.
Good try.
Okay, we're gonna go back to our scheduled agenda. AMR,
I'm always short, so.
AMR, please and thank you.
Even your paperwork is short.
How's everyone doing?
Excellent.
They didn't get euthanized on all set.
Solid job. I didn't.
How you doing?
Just state yourself for the Zoom folks.
No problem. Mark LaPrade, AMR paramedic supervisor. On behalf of Team D'Angelo, my operations manager. First, I'd like to say I know Chief Strahan was on from all of everyone of our condolences, the Greenville Fire Department, and the family of Captain Whitney. So, you guys got the report. I know Kim sent it like last week. Then status quo, we do have a new full-time paramedic that is in the middle of onboarding right now, so hopefully a couple more weeks. He will be cleared, and we do have another full-time overnight paramedic starting August 1st. So I think if they make through the clearance process, we will be have full-time paramedics 24/7 across the board, not have to rely on part-timers or some Springfield people up. So that's very positive news. I think almost all of our EMT slots are filled except for one. So staffing is very good. And I think that's it. The new shift bid ends on Friday, so I'll get all that paperwork next week, and everyone will get awarded their new shifts if they want to swap or whatnot.
And that starts in September. It's an annual thing. But I think that's it. And then for call volume, we have seen some acuity here. So they did, the crews up here did get a cardiac arrest ROS, so return of spontaneous circulation with a pulse back on the patient. And I know there's been a few STEMIs that have happened. So ST elevation MIs, those are like your major heart attacks, quote unquote, and we need to go to Bay State immediately. So they recognize that in the 12 lead, they could stop at Franklin to get them some other medication, and then they put them straight down to Bay State so they can get their cath. So, and
Sounds like it. Sounds like you guys did good. The quick response vehicle still plugging along, I see.
Yeah.
That's good. I see that, how'd your recruitment go? Yeah, I think you touched on that last one.
Oh, for the Earn Way Learn program?
Yeah.
I think when I talked to the program director, I don't know if anyone from Franklin County applied. However, they did have 2 people in this current class, I believe, that are willing to come up and work in the Greenfield operation. So.
Great. Good. Anybody else have any, whoops, I'm sorry, Dave, I hit your chair. Anybody else have any questions? Comments? Thank you very much. And
Thank
thanks.
you for sending that information.
Yes.
Ahead
of time.
Give us
For
time.
Kim.
No problem. Yeah.
It's
Make
always
sure-
helpful
I make
to
sure
see
she
it.
stays on
Yep.
the ball.
Thank you for all you do.
Appreciate
Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
So next was the fire department, but they had an unforeseen event this morning today.
Chairman, it's Chief Strand. I am on.
Oh, Chief Strand is on. Sorry, Chief, I didn't see you up there on the big board. So,
Yeah.
So we recognize the chief from the Greenfield Fire Department. Go ahead, Chief.
So first of all, it's pretty dark times at the fire department right now. Today was a very hard day for the fire department. One of our brothers and longtime captain passed away at 6:30 this morning, and so we gave him the dignified honors that he deserved. He is his services will be down the road. We don't have a date yet, and we don't have a time yet, but we will pass it on. In addition to Captain Whitney, another senior captain on the fire department suffered a significant medical event on Friday morning, and he is home resting and recovering, but his career status at this point is unknown. And so obviously with that and a couple other injuries that we have, the fire department's hurting pretty bad right now. So our thoughts and prayers go to the Whitney family and to all the folks at the firehouse, and they're getting the job done. They're keeping going, but it's getting tough. So we have clinical help for our firefighters. We are offering assistance with whatever assistance we need. Turners Falls and Northampton Fire responded units today so that we could do the proper take care of our brother and take care of each other's for a few hours while they were here. Both of them ended up spending 3 or 4 hours in the woods looking for a lost person. So we thank them for their ability to help us, even though that they ended up putting into work in a more difficult situation. So I want to recognize them. I'll take any questions about that, or if anybody, before I get into the next couple items. Okay, next item, the one item that we did have on the list, and I'll have more information for you if needed at the next meeting, but you'll see that Davis Street was a item for discussion. As we've been at the new facility for a little over a year now, we have found challenges responding down Davis Street with the current setup of Davis Street being a southbound lane and School Street being a northbound lane. has proven a little bit complicated for the two major buildings that we protect there, one of them being the Wilson building, the other one being the Jaduke building. In the old firehouse, it wasn't an issue because we'd come down Main Street, take a right on Federal and go to Ames. Under the new condition with the new firehouse, we have to go to through the intersection and come around, which puts a delay about a minute or two, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but on buildings like that, it could be. So a couple officers at a staff meeting made a recommendation to see if it would the city would entertain on changing the directions on Davis Street from going from southbound to northbound for that block, and School Street reversing that from south. I have it backwards. Reversing School Street from going southbound to northbound. So I'm sorry, the opposite. It's been a long day. You better bear with me. School Street coming southbound. Right now it goes northbound for that block, having it go southbound. So the idea is that you can take a left-hand turn onto Davis Street or right-hand turn onto Davis Street and access that area that way. And then on School Street, right now, multiple people making an illegal left turn to get onto School Street. This would prevent that, and everybody coming off School Street would be forced to go right. Currently, Davis Street, you have to go right between the hours. I think it's like 6 to 9 at night. So it just reverses it. It's a city block worth of street for each one of the streets. But it definitely would improve the protection issues in that Davis Street area. So it has received a positive feedback from the police department, has received positive feedback from the DPW. My understanding is the mayor's going to put it forward for traffic and parking commission, and it was suggested that it goes to public safety for their comments as well. So I was hoping to show you a map tonight. I'm happy to do it next month if that's what the commission would like.
Would you reverse Ames Street as well?
No, just those two streets.
So you would come up Davis, not be able to turn right onto Ames.
You can turn right there. You can't turn. You can turn.
Because it looks like I'm just looking at a map on my phone.
From School Street, you can't turn onto Ames Street, but
you can turn
from
right
Davis
there.
Street, you can turn onto Ames Street.
Okay.
You'd have to take a
That's
left
correct.
right behind the old GCC and then take a right past the Moose. Where right now you come the other way. You'd have to take a left and right. Because the inlet for Davis Street would be from Main past the now Jaduke building is now one way northbound, not southbound, is what they're proposing.
Is there some statute that says that we have to do something in particular before this happens?
The DOT will likely have to be informed, but we're working on all that.
Okay. I know that they don't change streets or patterns unless it's allowed. Okay.
I think the city's just looking, the town, the police and fire, DPW and the mayor's just looking for some kind of recommendation from this board to put when they present it to the DOT that they have backing of all interest groups. I think.
I have another question, Chief. Was there any other thought pattern on this, or was this the best one that we should come up with?
So we looked at all of it. We've actually we're reaching out to the economic development team in the city too to see, the two businesses that are there. The early indication that we received, at least from one of them, it was actually improved the flow pattern for the drop off of the kids and things like that. When you during the daytime you come up Davis Street south on Davis and you want to get on Main Street, you can only take a right-hand turn. Right. So like there's limited use of that street anyways. It just would, like I said, it would reverse those two blocks. And what it would do for us is give us easier, more unabated access to two major buildings in our downtown area.
And the equipment would turn better down Davis Street because it's a wider street.
It would be
that correct?
quicker. It would be
Quick.
quicker, Commissioner. Yep.
Very good.
Chief, sorry.
Go ahead, I'll wait. Yep.
Chief, at what public meeting will the public get to make comments?
I don't have that answer. I don't have that answer, but I will not speak for the mayor other than to say that I'm sure the mayor wants everything open and transparent and the public to weigh in. So
You said it's gonna go in front of the parking, what board? What board?
Parking enforcement.
Parking enforcement?
I'm not sure of the exact name on it, but I think it's traffic and parking
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah, one moment. Mayor, go ahead. I see your hand up. You might have an answer to the commissioner's question.
Hi, yes. I just wanted to say, if we put it on public safety, if we put it on parking and traffic, there's public comment at that, and we would make sure to put something in the newspaper, or I'd have Jonathan write something about it so people would know, but there would be public comment at that meeting.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think there should be at least one public meeting that has public comment on the issue.
Yeah, I think the real question's going to be is the businesses that are there. So when we access both of those businesses, we access them off of Davis Street. We don't access them from the Main Street side. So the fire department connection's on there and the fire alarms are on the side streets, and it's a quicker access for us. It makes it real streamlined. But you're right. The public should have a way, there's more needs in the city besides just the fire department when it comes to street access.
Chief?
I
had a
staffing
question.
update. Yeah.
Hold on, Chief. Commissioner Lloyd, go ahead. And I got a comment too, so.
Chief, I appreciate what you're saying, and I'm not gonna come out and say I'm opposed to it. But I want us to think about the fact that we have probably 30,000 people in Greenfield during the day. And changing the direction of streets can be very dangerous, because getting everybody on board to understand and proper signage. I'm familiar with an intersection in Northampton that just went from a two-way stop to a four-way stop. And that process with signage and police details lasted 2 months. People get accustomed to the direction that they can go in. And I foresee significant difficulty ensuring safety, both in the short term and in the continuing term. And I'm not trying to minimize your needs. I'm not at all trying to do that. But I think you raised a good point that although you have valid fire department issues with respect to access here, we really have to consider the broader picture of the average motorist.
I completely agree and understand and respect that statement. I can only say this: when we were in COVID, we did change the directions in those streets. And yeah, it took a little bit for people to get used to, but it was done with no accidents or no issues. So, but I completely understand and respect what you're saying, Commissioner.
Yeah, I was working during COVID and it was like a ghost town everywhere.
I understand, sir.
Except at the senior center.
Yeah, my comment was that if this happens, that we have to make sure there's plenty of flashing signs and warnings and everything else. Because I not to self-incriminate myself, but I did go through Pierce Street and Davis Street, and that used to be a two-way stop, and I went through the stop sign quite a few times before I realized there was a four-way stop there. So, not to incriminate myself, but yes, I did do that, and I'm guilty. So I think we need to have plenty of signage and advertisements and because we do have a lot of out-of-town visitors that come or out-of-town people. So that was my thought too, along with the commissioners, that was gonna be my comment too, that we need to assure that we have public safety in mind when this is being done.
And Google Maps online.
We gotta get Google Maps can't keep up with it. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Two
All
things.
of them- Yeah, all of them legit concerns, all of them have been thought about, including Google Maps. But again, it's not going to be a short process. It's going to be well thought out, and it may be beneficial for the businesses that are there in regards to deliveries and access for people that are going to the stores there and whatnot. So I think it's worthwhile, the discussion. But the commissioner Lenoyne is absolutely correct, and I'll say it again, like there are 30,000 people in the city of Greenfield during the day. That there's other needs besides the fire department.
The Ames Street between Davis and school, that's a two-way, right? Does anybody?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
a two-way. That portion of it,
That's
that portion
two-way.
of it is two-way, okay.
Yeah, that's two way.
So I would also tend to agree with Commissioner Lenoy. I mean, a lot of people, I'm not so worried about changing Davis Street. I'm more concerned about changing School Street because a lot of people use that as a cut through to get to the bank or to get to other places. So that's gonna take a lot of time to get used to. And people are usually coming up towards the set of lights and then they take the quick left. So that is a concern.
Which is an illegal turn to begin with.
Yeah.
There's a sign that says no left-hand turn.
You could also take out the parking on those two streets, school and the.
You could
To make it so that it's safer.
You could take the parking.
We're not talking about taking any parking. The commissioner, yes, you are right on that. I will tell you, and if the police chief would like to weigh in on that, I believe that's an illegal turn, taking a left-hand turn on the school street anyways. And that's the majority of people that are using it for a cut through.
Main Street, you can only take a right-hand turn after you come through the lights. You're only supposed to take a right. You're not supposed to take a left from the
Yes, but I think what he's saying,
all the time, yeah.
yeah, I think what, if you're headed eastbound, I see people all the time taking a left-hand turn to get onto School Street.
Okay.
So do we need to vote on? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, any thoughts or comments?
Would it be illegal to take a left onto the street that we're reversing?
Davis,
Like on Davis?
Davis Street, you would, if you're heading east, you would now take a left onto.
Yes.
That wouldn't be illegal anymore.
No.
Right.
So Chapman Street would be two-way, in and out. Wells Street in and out. It's just when we get to that Davis Street and then School Street, and a lot of people when going east do cut because it's before the island. They do cut and go down School Street northbound. So,
To be fair, I don't think there's a sign saying you can't.
and I don't know that you can. I don't know that you can. I've seen it happen and I haven't done any enforcement on it. So
I think it happens about.
I think I've done it 100 times myself. I've gone in there.
So
So
lights don't work anyway.
yeah, that's true. But it would just be reversing the two and there's a little confusion for a minute at Davis and Ames Street.
Yeah. And I would point out, if you think about it from this way, if you cannot make that left-hand turn on the School Street, you can only access that area of town or that downtown area by either going Chapman Street and cutting through parking lots or going down Federal Street and coming through Ames Street.
Right.
And then parking lots for big fire trucks aren't that convenient anymore. You used to be able to shoot straight across, not anymore. It's a gauntlet going through those parking lots now.
Yep.
So do we feel comfortable?
I will tell you that we've had two fires right past these two buildings within the last few years. One of them under the old firehouse, which we were able to access quickly. The other fire that we had to go around, and it delayed our response to that area. So there is some validity from the fire department standpoint, but again, it's a city holistic picture. So.
So Mike. Yes. Do we,
Want to entertain a motion?
go ahead.
I'd like to entertain a motion or make a motion that we favorably support the restructuring of those two streets and their directions to support the fire department and police department.
Okay, so we need a second to
I'll
that.
second the positive recommendation.
Okay, so all those in favor, raise your hands.
Right.
All those opposed? Anybody abstain? Okay, chief will be forward on a positive recommendation along with
Thank you.
everybody else on that. Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's just the beginning of the process. It's a
Yeah.
long process that I believe that's gonna happen with this, so.
And
If there no more questions, I'll just give you the last two updates.
that's great, just a joke, Jim. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, the last two updates is I was going to give you an update about staffing. I'm gonna hold off on that because I really, with everything that's going on and what happened last weekend, I don't have an update to give you. So, I will give you one next month. And lastly, budget report, our closeout budget, for last year, we have shown that we were in the red, pretty significantly. However, working diligently, going through every line item, we found multiple things that were charged to wrong accounts. We found some other things that were a little out of whack, and so we're still over, but not nearly by the amount that we were anticipated to be. We put a spending freeze on in November of last year. And between that and some changes that we made within the very, very difficult staffing pattern that we had, I'm feeling pretty confident that the number is going to be on the lower side. But more information and details, which I would have had tonight, will be available for next meeting.
Very good.
And that's all I have. So again, thank you all for your support. And I'll end it again by saying John was a very dear friend. He was a good officer. He was a dedicated member of the department who loved the city, loved the department, and will be incredibly missed going forward. So thank you all for your support for the fire department during these difficult times.
Very good, thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Police department.
I can never ask.
We already had you up here once. You didn't even know we were gonna ask me.
I need to keep one. Oh, we have electronic
Is that the
copy.
same
Yeah.
thing?
I have a copy in the.
I have a copy.
Yeah.
Of June?
You got it earlier.
Email,
I-
and the email
Thank you.
from him,
These are $5.
Thank you.
wasn't it?
How much?
From somebody.
I have,
Sure.
listen,
I'm
I'm gonna make the motion that the fire department pay for all your details on that.
We
road
like it when we
reversal.
get something.
Yeah, that'd be great. We'll start today. Was really unfortunate. I got a call very early this morning from the fire chief advising me of Captain Whitney's passing. That was sad, very sad. John Whitney started at a time close to when Deputy Chief and I started. So we're 90s babies on this job. We knew John really well, so we came up through with him. Pretty sad. Fire department in normal protocol had everything organized to the letter, and it played out to the letter, and I was honored enough to be able to follow the procession. So we were short today, so we started out the day even earlier than that with a missing person that turned into a really large scale search and rescue event. That had our special response vehicle there. We had individuals from Turner's Fire, Greenfield Fire, us, state, SRT team was called in, the state CERT team was called in. It, for all intents and purposes, doing this for almost 30 years, I'm still not convinced it's not the real deal.
It's not a hazardous condition.
Sadly, we did not find the
Cheapside
individual
Street.
today. So it was a mother called basically frantically due to medical history and things of that nature. She had good reason to believe, this is not good. And his car was left at an area in Greenfield that we would then sort of ground pound search, and we had drones out, we had everything short of Air Wings. I think Air Wing couldn't make it. But it's a sad day, starting out the way it did, and then following up with this. I mean, with the rain and the humidity was absolutely crazy. The deputy chief and I ran and got, we made sure they had waters and provisions and things of that nature, and monitored all that stuff. But Detective Sergeant Corey Green was incident commander, did an amazing job as usual in a big event like that. And we were there for most of it. But tough day. It was a really tough, trying day. So our hearts go out to the Whitneys and our condolences. So the stats. This is gonna read somebody. I got on my phone because he made them. There's one in particular he can read because it's funny.
So for June, calls handled for service. We were down 55 calls with 3,713. Time spent on the calls, 1,592 hours, which was down 587 hours from the previous month. Calls in the downtown business district, they were up 23 for a total of 380. Incident reports were up by 5 reports for 177. Accident reports were up by 3, 32. Arrest reports were up 8, 51 arrests. We had 159 citations issued. That's not including the grant. The grant itself had 12 hours dedicated to the let's see, what month was this? Was it June? I'm trying to think of which enforcement was the primary on it. Speed.
Yeah.
They had 23 stops. It's like one civil for speed, 19 warnings. We had an OUI and 2 operations for suspension or revocation. That's it. Stats for June. No officer movements. We didn't have any report. Introductions, none this time. No officers, none on next month. We'll be a little bit different on that because we had some interviews that we did. Cruisers are status quo. We had some problems with the cameras, and 1 or 2 of them, but those got fixed. And next up is Catherine Russell to talk about her trip to Dallas, Texas, to the CIT convention.
Yeah, there
Looking forward to
was,
this all week.
for months actually, sometime in last month. But that was the second conference that I had been sent to. The first was crisis intervention trained officers. This one was for co-response. And so everyone all from the United States, I think pretty much all states were there. It was huge. And you can ask 10 different people what their main takeaways were, and you get 10 different answers. So there was 3 days or 4 days and 4 workshops each day. But each workshop period, you could choose from about like 8 to 10 to 15 different workshops to choose from. I think some of the main takeaways from my workshops was the vastness with which co-responders could be represented. So like a position like mine, we're embedded in the police department, so we respond with officers when we think it's something that's appropriate for us or officers are requesting us. We see other teams where the co-responders are embedded within the fire department and they respond with fire personnel. And there's some teams where some departments where the co-responders are embedded in dispatch. So they're fully dispatch trained with CJIS and all of what dispatchers get trained in, and they're triaging and taking those calls from the moment they do. It was pretty wonderful. And another thing that there's a big debate in the co-response world is whether the co-responders are, some departments have them vested, some are not vested, and it's seems like it's a pretty hot topic, hot debate. I don't know where I fall on that debate. I don't think I have to choose right now, but it was very interesting.
What do you mean by vest?
That the co-responders are also wearing vests.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Vested could be somebody's paid or something.
Yeah, so they're part of their uniform is that when they go to work, they are wearing a
Understood.
vest, yeah.
They have vests. though.
We do have vests that we carry with us on any calls, but some of them is that they are to be worn if they're in the cruisers.
Broader policy could potentially steer that conversation. For example, we have a zero tolerance policy for the vests. The police department does. That's so that we can get certain grant funding.
Yeah, but I'm saying you all wear them, period.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I'm
Well, I'd like to, yeah, but we have a zero tolerance policy. We had to do that in order to procure certain funding patterns. So I'm thinking with stuff like this, it's an evolution. At some point in time, they may say, listen, you're not gonna get X. Our accreditation may come into play. Accreditation standards may change and say you need to have anybody going on that sort of thing. So that will dictate where it goes. I think right now it's left sort of up to you as to whether or not you wear it.
We need to have it, at least it's advised, I don't think it's mandated, but it's advised that if any call you go to, like if you have it with you, like in the cruiser at least, so you don't know what a call is gonna turn into or what you're gonna go to. Which I think is a benefit of wearing vests, because we go where officers go. Officers wear your vest, so I see both ways, And some departments in Northampton, I believe, I don't want to speak, but I'm pretty sure it's Northampton or Hatfield or East Hampton, I don't know, one of the departments in Franklin County. Or maybe it's Hampshire County. I think it's Hampshire.
Oh, that's okay.
Someone south of us.
One of the departments that we have co-responders with, can't enter a cruiser without having the vest on. So it could even be just like based on what department that you're working with.
Is that a policy for us? And for our department?
So for ours, it is exclusively officers. It's a zero tolerance, must wear vest.
So if a civilian goes into the car.
I don't believe there's an order mandating that they do, because they could be in there for many, many, many different reasons. We do courtesy transports where we put people in our cars. We're not gonna put a vest on them on that ride. So when we do ride-alongs, like a pre-planned ride-along, I believe 100% of the time we're putting vests on them.
Well, that's why you ordered me to get a vest on.
You did a ride-along. Did you have a vest on?
I was told to keep it on the whole time.
There you go. Yeah.
Sounds logical.
Yeah.
So, because you never know what situation you're gonna get into.
You know, you hope you're not getting ambushed.
Who makes that determination
Who's this?
about these folks, whether they're gonna wear a vest or not?
It'll end up being a conversation between both of us. So both agencies. If you would ask me, I'd say you're wearing them, but that's just me. I'd always rather be safe.
That's my opinion, but
You're in
I'd rather have, I'd like to have a vest on if I was driving around an officer.
So you can't get one size fits all.
Although we do owners, but ideally, no, everybody is individually fitted to their vest. And the deputy chief maintains our vest grant. They're at least, the feds are at least kind enough to pay 50%.
Well, we appreciate your input and your
I have a
updates.
question for you.
Yes.
When did you go to Texas?
That was June 10th, 11th, 12th, early June.
So was it 110?
It was very hot, very humid, very
was in Texas.
unpleasant. I didn't like.
I was pretty much in
Listen, I
Texas the
was
whole
in
month of
Texas
June.
This was my first time in Texas. They always say it's dry heat over there.
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's not dry at all. That's Arizona.
Yeah.
Just so the community is aware, that's 100% funded by the grant that we write each year. So they allow for co-responders and officers who are, we try to pick the ones that are more deeply attached to this program. They're all CIT trained, like critical incident training and stuff. We try to keep about 100% on that in terms of how many are trained. But some pay closer attention. Some are more into the co-response program. So we vet it out by that. You know, if you've proven that you like doing it and you're proving that you're putting some time into this, we will utilize that grant funding to send those officers with our co-responders to go to that. And that's an annual thing. Is it always, I think it is always in Texas.
Oh,
No,
no, it's
moves around.
everywhere.
Moves
Yeah,
around,
next year it's in Salt Lake City. Be cool.
So
I'll never go to Omaha.
we'll go no on that one.
Which
We could have went to
officers?
Colorado this year and we said no, so
Like
that was
state.
horrible.
Which officers?
Which officers? went?
Sergeant Cloutier and Officer Granger went this year.
And then we had Officer Roberts from Deerfield Police. So with co-responders, we work with Greenfield, Deerfield, and Montague Police Departments. Deerfield has a grant, and so they were able to send one officer as well.
Excellent. Just to follow up on the call response for the activity review. They had 44 calls, 9 sections, 6 diversions, no injuries and no arrests.
I'll read the last one.
So they seem to be up. They're a little up, right? For June 24.
Yep.
The last one, the one next to the last one.
And the seconds are.
Read the next to the last one.
Yeah.
Summers are more active.
I had to wait to get the numbers.
Yeah, they seem to be up.
Okay. You're still recovering from her June trip.
Yeah.
So budget report, I got this probably same time you did. Money returned to the city, period. Again. And honestly, we're proud of that. We spend so much time watching these numbers. And the deputy chief, I call him the goalie, he's that guy. So all requests for purchases must go through him. That's funny sometimes over the years. But it's, we really concentrate on the money. We don't want to give money away. We don't want to piss the taxpayers' money away. We are frugal, and I think if our numbers were correct, we came in probably about 40,000 under budget. What you need to take into account there is that was with significant payouts to retirees. So we had to hold off on hiring, because that's the money we had to use to pay back these things from our budget. So these retirement buybacks, we ate that ourselves. There are accounts that are established in the city, but we try to take a responsible side of our own budget, and we covered those overages. So for the police side, we came in under budget.
We're talking 25.
What's that?
25?
26.
26.
We're in 27 now.
Okay.
So in FY 26, we came in about 40,000 under budget. That's a rough estimate. Mayor told me there's some movement here and there. We were just to put it in perspective, we were somewhat significantly over on the expenses side. And a lot of that had to do with the $50,000 cruiser maintenance that we spent. Where we saved was in the salaries lines, all the related salary lines. So we came in significantly under with that. And again, that was playing some games with staffing to try to pay ourselves back, and we managed. So the same cannot be said about dispatch. We did go over budget for the second year on dispatch. That's a difficult animal, but Cindy and I have to get ahead, but we have a plan to try to prevent that coming into FY27. Out of our budget.
I ask you one question. When you talk to people from around the country, you get the sense that we're ahead of the game, behind the 8 ball.
Ahead of the game. The relationships, it's all about the relationships and the relationships that the co-responders, like myself, we have Christina and Caitlin's our program director, that we have with the officers that we work with are very close, very professional, but very close. And that's what, there's the trust that builds there. And so if you don't have that, you don't have them trusting you to bring you on calls or trusting your judge. So
That's good to
we're
hear.
very embedded in them.
Excellent.
What I
I think that's a great question, because when we started talking budgets, That's what was challenged, if you remember, pretty heavily.
Yes.
And what I think many lose sight of is the value of spreading that out, the value of seeing what others are doing. Our chiefs meetings, our International Association of Chiefs of Police, we talked about at a previous meeting where there's individuals that come from countries you can't immediately recognize they're in full regalia. It's something to see, but we want to know what the bigger picture of policing is here so that we can kind of try to go with the current trends and adapt to that stuff. What we have found is, thankfully, I think here in Greenfield, I'm only going to speak for Greenfield, but here in Greenfield, we're doing pretty good work. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but we seem to be sort of in the front of what's coming. You know, the de-escalation stuff, we're way ahead of it. We're working on those things, the training that we're sending people to, the protocols we've established.
You may have raised the topic with me in another venue. You'll see it.
Good, awesome.
Yeah, Western Mass Chiefs, their agenda, I'll talk before we go.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, yeah, that's a great answer.
So what I'm saying is
Truthful, that's
people
what-
that come and see us benefit.
Yeah.
You know, that international, they learn from us.
We used to get that. We used to get that leaving the state with sheriff's offices. You know, most of the states are full service offices. But, you know, we would be amazed at how well we were doing, but you don't want to be doing this, right? But when you leave the state and you talk to people, you say, wow, we're not all that bad off.
But on the other side is the most beneficial is where we do learn. And we come back and we put it to work.
Yeah, it's good stuff to go.
Yeah,
It really
yeah.
is. Cindy wants to get home
Yeah.
before 10 o'clock.
I'm sure everybody does. Especially some people.
They start early. You guys all set?
Thank you.
We're good. I gotta hang for Cindy for a minute. She's gonna talk budget and we'll.
That was a very emotional speech.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Sorry about that.
I'm Cindy Hunter, dispatch supervisor. So I guess because you really want to get out of here, so just about the
What
budget.
gives you that impression?
Make them
I
wait.
know you.
Make them wait. Go over your paperwork.
It's okay. So we, as the chief indicated, we were significantly over budget, unfortunately. I think it was about 35,000 is about what we were over. Does that include our reimbursements for the training grant?
So sometimes timing, it may not. So
So that's
the end of a fiscal year, as most of you know, is a tricky thing. We will get money in at the close of the fiscal year from various grants, but there's also bills that go out and they'll still qualify as FY26 bills. So our running spreadsheet that we had put us at about the 30 to 35,000 mark over budget leaving FY26.
But we are also still waiting for about a $12,000 or $13,000 reimbursement.
We could
for our training.
recoup some,
So,
yeah. Yep.
so that could recoup some of that money, so hopefully. As the chief indicated, he and I talked extensively about it, and we are coming up with ideas, putting in place things that will keep us on budget for next year. As you all know, part of last year, we did not, up until I think April or May, we did not have our vacation relief spot filled. So unfortunately, or fortunately now, we do have that, and that is showing that it's saving significant amounts of overtime and obviously wear and tear on the dispatchers as well. So we're grateful to the mayor and the city for having that filled.
So the overs really, there's nothing about bad management there. It's.
Yeah, it
Salary.
really
Well,
is, yeah.
there's, again, just being transparent, there's changes that can be made, meaning, we being Cindy can't always be the nice person.
No.
So
We've had that conversation with the
dispatch is a
dispatchers.
strange animal. There's only two. And there has to be two. If someone asks for time off, it is going to get backfilled somehow. So where we were over on both our per diem wages, our overtime, and I think our permanent wages were pretty good. But what that says is being over on overtime and per diem is too much time was given off. Too many shifts needed to be covered, and it put us over budget.
Yeah.
And again, with the grants that dispatch receives, we've always been sort of comfortable knowing we can do that and we stay within budget. We didn't, we went a little.
Was this non-paid time off or?
It's all of it. So they put comp time away, they put vacation comp, whatever. And again, the animal in and of itself is that dispatchers can get almost as much overtime as they want to. And for those who don't put it in pay, put it in comp time, they can now take time off. So when they bank the time off, they take the time off, someone else takes that and gets more ability for time off or overtime.
Right, so it's hitting us twice.
So-
We have to
so
pay
we
the
put
person
so many
their
per
time
diems on.
plus the coverage of the
That's right.
It's an age old.
We put per diems on, we overspent our per diems. So Cindy covered way more shifts, I can tell you, than I would have liked her to. And so, and we've talked about that. The solution is not Cindy taking care of a $30,000 deficit. It's a more of a everyday thing. And what really comes down to is time off requests are gonna we're gonna have to look at those a little more discriminately. And it's not always going to be a yes. We have to save $30,000 to $40,000 going in through this year.
The only time off that is guaranteed, so they are guaranteed obviously sick time. Their 3 personal days each are guaranteed, can't be denied, and they're bidded vacation. So if they take vacation time or ask for vacation time outside of the bid, it's not guaranteed, and their comp time is not guaranteed. And we've had, Chief and I have had that conversation with a couple of the dispatchers personally in his office because they were using a lot of time off. But I've had the conversation with everyone now, and they are aware that time off is not always going to be granted. And
Comp time rollover?
they can bank up to 120 hours, and it will go from year to year.
But anything over that, they have to.
They have to take in money if their bank is full.
Comp time is a bear.
What's that?
It's a bear.
Super.
Yeah.
Can they take their comp time and their 100, up to 120 hours in money? Or is it only when
To
they
be
go over?
paid out of
Yes.
the bank.
Yeah.
I think a request can be made. It has to be approved through like HR and finance. I think in certain circumstances, they've done that. Maybe not a full payout, but a partial payout, maybe. It's not common. It's not common. They use it.
I don't
Use their
remember having
time.
had a request for that in my 3 years,
See, comp time becomes an unfunded liability. It just
Huge.
builds up.
essentially, yeah.
Are we worried about dispatchers leaving over this and then we're just out anyways and having to pay for overtime to cover fewer dispatchers?
No indication from my conversations with them that that's on the radar. I think we're just gonna take it on a case by case basis. I think the dispatchers who were getting a significant amount of time off are sort of now on notice that, you know, because we have dispatchers who never ask for time off. And so we're gonna take it on a case by case basis.
No, the ones we talked to were, it was, I gotta give them credit, was a very good
They were
conversation.
well received.
They understood. I said, this is a team. We gotta play this game together. We gotta get through it together. You have to help me as much as I help you. We're still gonna look at individual time off requests and try to be as compassionate as possible to allowing them. And there's quite a bit that can be given, believe it or not. There's still quite a bit, but we have to regulate it to the extent that we're not going over budget. It's just plain and simple. Yeah.
How do you gain comp time?
You work an overtime shift. So you can either take it as money, which is time and a half money, or you can take it at time and a half comp time. So if you work an 8-hour shift, you get 12 hours of comp time. Goes into your bank.
If you work an 8-hour
If you
overtime,
work an 8-hour overtime shift, you
work an
can bank
8-hour
12 hours of
overtime
time.
shift,
Yes,
you can bank 12
12
hours,
hours.
additional 12 hours of time?
that's in place. So you're not taking any money payout. It's going
Oh,
into your
you're not
bank.
taking the 8 hours. So if you
Yes.
work an 8-hour overtime shift,
You can take it in money,
you can
which
take
will
it
be
in
paid at time and a half in your check
for the 8 hours.
for the 8 hours,
Or you can
or
take 12
you
hours.
take 12 hours time
comp time.
and it goes in your bank.
Now, where did this agreement, is this a union agreement?
It's been longer than me here. Yeah, it's not, that's a very
It is
common.
something that is negotiated with the town, or with the city rather, excuse me.
And it's always contentious, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a quick question, because I don't know the process to this. If you are asking for vacation time, comp time, any of those things, are you, as the staff employee, responsible for finding your own coverage?
We encourage it, but not necessarily, no.
That might be
it's
something, I don't know.
Well, I do have dispatchers who will actively reach out to the per diems before they request the time off. And say, you know, hey, are you available
Cause in all this, I mean, it wasn't with bargaining, but I've done multiple administrative type jobs and. You know, for certain things, especially if we're in a crunch like that, it's like, okay, if you can find the person that's gonna cover for you, I'll approve it, kind of a
But
thing.
again, that's good, but it's only a piece of the pie,
Right,
right? So even
And
if they
it's- and
find
it
no
was
per diem, it's still
non-bargaining.
spending money.
Yeah.
So the problem with the per diem is you're not only spending, you're spending money when that person takes that comp time day. Right? So you're paying that out because it's coming in their check. They're not here for that shift, but they're still getting the same paycheck as if they were. So you're paying that $8. And now you're paying an extra $250 for a per diem person. And we only have so much in per diem. And Cindy went to work and she's now got very well-designed spreadsheets that at least put us, we have a visual of what we can do each month and we can kind of play it up and down in terms of like, I think the very first month after she made the spreadsheet, she saw she gave too many people time off.
Yeah.
If we're gonna conform to the numbers, too many were granted, the ability to take those days off. So what do you do next month? 2 less than what your target is, or, we gotta look at it in terms of 12 months.
Well, and one of the things that we've encouraged, and they've actually have hopped on this wagon, is shift swaps.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of those submitted since we've had these discussions with them.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of being that team, right? Is that you help cover each other, you
And the
help.
ones we talked to,
You know?
I will say, they were very
Team player
diplomatic.
position.
They were.
It was a good conversation.
I mean, I think they all understand that they don't want to be part of the decision to have to lay someone off.
Right.
I mean, God forbid, we have to do that at some point. And I think they all understand that. And I mean, no one wants to see one of their coworkers go. I certainly don't want to see it. So you're finally fully staffed.
Do you think you'll see?
You did that because we were just talking about that, how smooth it's been for a while, like, this is unprecedented.
Keyword on the nursing floor either, yeah.
Do you think you'll see more people just take the overtime hourage as opposed to the comp time if you're now looking at maybe limiting some of it? Just take the 8 hours,
They'll have to
time and a
now.
half is what I'm saying.
They'll have to mathematically, you can only get 10 shifts, and then you have to take it.
Yeah.
Their contract,
You're maxed out.
so the federal standard, FLSA standard is 480. Feds say you can't accumulate more than 480 hours of comp time. Our collective bargaining agreements pared that down further. So the agreements between the city and the dispatchers is 120 hours. That varies between union.
220, right?
120.
120. Yeah. So yeah.
I think the patrolman maybe 220. It's
right.
Yeah. So it's part of negotiations, but it's in the contract what they can accrue. So if they're not taking it down, then they can't continue to accrue it. At some point, they have to take it.
Oh, okay. I would just like to just first say dispatches condolences go out to the fire department, of course, and the Whitney family. Captain Whitney has always been an asset to me, and I know to dispatch entirely, but I mean, he had a great way of telling me that I screwed up, but doing it in a way that actually taught me something. And so he wasn't mean about
nicely, yeah.
So, and there probably were times when I deserved it. So our hearts go out to the fire department and to his family. Let's see. So I guess we'll start with June's notes, or May. So June's meetings notes for May. There was a correction from April. Our IMC calls entered should have been 3,423. In May, our IMC calls for service were 3,441 that we entered, which was up about 0.5%. 911 calls in and out of the system were 2,327. At the time, we had 10 10 full-time dispatchers and 5 per diems. Our overtime hours for April, just to give you an indication of how much the vacation relief spot is saving us. April's overtime hours were 272, which equated to 34 shifts, versus May, which was 155 hours or 19.3 shifts. So it went down about 15 shifts within that month. Overtime hours covered by per diems in May was 46 hours. I covered 56 hours. Training grant for FY26, our reimbursement had been submitted. We were requesting $12,204 back. So again, we're waiting for that. That includes personnel costs, class costs, and mileage. Grants for FY27, we have the training grant and we have the S&I, or the support and support and incentive grant that we'll be applying for, which in the new month's meeting or minutes, we've already done that. We've submitted our applications and waiting to hear back. And our CGIS audit, the update at the time was we have to have all of our fixes done by July 21st. It's yesterday. That is it for the May stats for the June meeting. Also with that, I gave you, I think, a copy of our my reimbursements request to the state for our training grant. And so you have all of the particulars of what we were requesting reimbursement for as well. All right, so for June. Our call statistics, our IMC calls for services entered were 3,403. It was down about 1%. 911 calls in and out of the system, 2,345. That was up about 0.7%. Unfortunately, this month, or excuse me, this week, so we are still fully staffed at 10 full-time dispatchers, but unfortunately we lost one of our per diems. I would just like to say that Taylor Johansson, she's been employed with us since 11 of 2016. She did leave us for a short time. She went out of state with her family, came back as a per diem. She was a fantastic full-time dispatcher as well as a per diem. In that time when she came back, she completed her nursing degree, and she's now currently working for Bay State Franklin Medical. And everything that she has going on right now is just a lot. And so she was reluctant to submit her resignation, and I was reluctant to accept it. We're going to miss her, and she was a great asset to us, so we appreciate that. So unfortunately, that brings us down to 4 per diems. I actually had a discussion, beginnings of a discussion with Montague's supervisor about potentially offering some of their dispatchers to see if they were looking outside of the agency to see if they might be interested in coming to us per diem. They only dispatch for the police department right now. They don't do any fire dispatching, so there would definitely be some training involved with that. I have to discuss with the chief if we can even do that financially right now. So that's a discussion to continue to have. Our overtime hours for May were 155, as I said, 19.3 shifts. For June, it was 163, so 20.37 shifts. Hours covered by the per diems, unfortunately, were only 5 shifts due to various things they all have going on in their personal lives. I will say, though, that I have had a discussion with each of the remaining 4 per diems and reiterated to them the requirement that we have. We require 16 hours a month from them. And the reason for that being overall, or most importantly, is that we don't want them to lose their skills. And we want them to stay on top of all of the changes that can happen literally on a daily basis. So, and they are all be familiar with those requirements. And so one of the things we've done is when I would put out overtime shifts prior to the chief and I starting to have these discussions with them, is that shifts would go out 8 hours in their entirety. What we've started doing is I put out shifts in 4-hour blocks now. So if it's an 8-hour requested off shift, I split it 7A to 11A, 11A to 3P. And the per diems have right of first refusal for any vacation time and comp time that is requested off. So hopefully that will encourage them to take more half shifts. We're hoping. Again, the reimbursement package has been submitted for the training grant. We're just waiting to hear back. Again, and I've also submitted the application for the 2 grants that we applied for. Again, waiting to hear back. There were some corrections that they asked for this past week. So I submitted the corrections. Hopefully that satisfies all of their needs and I will get it back again.
Every time.
Every time. And lastly was the CGIS audit. I submitted our last fix actually yesterday. I am supposed to hear back from the auditor by Friday that they have all of their requirements and we'll get our letter of compliance with them. So hopefully on Friday.
One of the, in response to that, actually, I want to give kudos to our IT department who had to scramble outside of their normal plans and hook us up with our multi-factor authentication system. It's either through Duo mobile app or they could provide us with basically a little dongle type thing that creates codes for it. But I think so far, I haven't heard, but most just put it on their phone. It's a phone app and it makes it.
It's a phone app.
It's the
Like
quickest, easiest way.
authenticator or something?
Yeah, you log
So you
into,
just
you go log into
requires,
your
yeah.
computer, you get
Yeah.
a ding on your phone and it says.
So it was on
Yes.
Fernando's
notice.
list, it was on his list of things to do, which is a big thing citywide. It was on his list of things to do this year anyways. That's protocol he wanted to put in place for security purposes, but he just forced our hand earlier, so. He did drop what he was doing and got to work for us, and we're up and running now, as of, I think as of yesterday, we
As of
had.
yesterday, yeah, between Fernando and Jean.
Yeah, they do a lot for us.
They
They're
busted their-
good, yeah.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we appreciate that. And that's it, unless you guys have any questions.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Much.
Information.
Thank you for hanging in there.
Yeah.
That's our biggest thank you.
Thermos and pillows spending for a whole year, so I deserve a break.
That's right.
I'll tell you about the.
Let them talk here.
There might be somebody out there waiting for you, gentlemen.
That's fine.
I was told that it was gonna be a quick hearing. Uh-huh.
What?
Nothing. I was telling something to the chief, that's all. What he was saying. So anyways, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to approval of minutes, and I went through who was at the meetings and who wasn't at the meeting, so when we approve them,
Don't get the vote.
some people don't get the vote, some people do get the vote.
I'm trying
to do
So,
Yeah.
the 17th, we were absent, Braff and Lenoy. So I forwarded all the minutes to everybody. So we'll tackle the 17th first for approval for the minutes on the 17th.
Of June? Of what month?
March, yeah, sorry.
I
Should give the dates, because we do have a bunch of them here. Because we fell way behind because we didn't get them. So, yeah. So, do I hear a motion to?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next one is March 25th. Everybody was present at that one, so everybody
Boy,
voted.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor of approval, thank you very much. Okay, so April 22nd. Commissioner Masatello, you were the only one not present, so the rest of us were, so
Can I make another motion?
Can I second it?
there you go. All those in favor? And the very last one is June 2nd. Let's see, Braff, Illinois. Out, so I need a motion.
Is it June 3rd though, the date?
Second, yeah. Well, I had the wrong date.
Well, you have on the top of the minutes, it says June 3rd. And on the,
I thought the one that I thought I forwarded June 2nd to everybody.
on your agenda, it says the 2nd, but it's gonna look at what day.
Okay.
I wasn't here for the June
It's
meeting.
Tuesday.
June was it was a.
June second was a Tuesday.
June 2nd's a Tuesday. We meet on a Tuesday?
No, we met.
That was the one that we moved to a Tuesday,
We had the other one, the regular one in June too, right?
but I didn't get those minutes. I didn't get those minutes. so.
I wasn't here then. That's right, it was canceled.
This is
Okay.
what I got from,
June 2nd, yes, that's right. The normal time was canceled. Because not enough.
Okay,
commission.
then the minutes need to be corrected because they say June 3rd on
Okay,
them, they say
yeah,
June.
Oh, did I?
We'll have to do those afterwards again.
okay,
We'll
so
do those
we'll,
next
so it was the 3rd, we'll
Yes.
correct those, we'll do
Yes.
those at the next meeting
Yes.
then. Sorry about that, I wrote down the wrong date.
That's okay.
Okay, next meeting is, let me bring up a calendar.
August 26th.
August 26th. Here at the fire station. At 6 P.M.
Mhm.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? All those in favor?
Aye.
I think anybody's ever gonna say no.
I'm gonna-
No.
do the recording.
Yeah, I have to record.